Welcome to Two Dorks, One Mic. We've been off for a couple weeks because James decided to move, and I'm Kyle.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm now in Colorado after 10 years in mellow, okay Michigan. I am now officially back at a place I call home.
Woo!
And in the meantime, for the foreseeable future, until me and Kyle enact our master plan to be the greatest Hollywood team ever.
Exactly. Until we take over Hollywood. And fucking,
Yes.
get to the point of James Cameron's career where he can announce a movie in 2025.
All right, so we're just gonna get right into it, I suppose.
Okay, I want to get right into
Right before we started, because right before we started this, we were bitching about the current state of James Cameron's career and all the shit he's doing. So let's just talk about that.
Okay, what do you want to start with first? The fact that no one gives a shit about Avatar anymore, or no one gives a shit about Terminator anymore, or we can talk about the fact that he's really just being a shithead to Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman.
Well, the Avatar thing, it's been 7 fucking years since the movie came out. 7 years. And only now is his sequel finally hitting production.
Well, okay, to be fair, it was like 7 years between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. But here's the thing. Nobody likes Avatar. I have yet to meet one person who's seen it more than once.
Well, I've only met people that liked that movie, that were aggressively kissing James Cameron's ass and saying, "Oh, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's spectacle wonder." I never liked the movie. I remember watching the commercials back in 2010, thinking, "Oh, hey, this movie looks okay." And then I finally sat down and watched it, and I was royally disappointed.
Did you see it in the theater, or did you see it at home?
No, I saw it when it hit DVD and all that stuff.
Okay.
I was royally disappointed because all of the commercials marketed it as a kick-ass war movie on another planet.
Yeah.
That's what I got from the marketing materials. But then I watched the movie what the fuck is this narrative?
It's Pocahontas in space.
It's basically Pocahontas in space. It is just what the fuck? Don't get me wrong, it's a well-made movie and it's a well-acted movie. The cast is fucking phenomenal. Sam Worthington,
Sigourney Weaver. Except for her first scene. Her first scene, she's a total, bitch. And then the rest of the movie, she's just cool. She's chill as hell.
That's pretty much her shtick half the time, and that's why she's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a downer nowadays when people only remind, when they think of Sam Worthington, they think of this film. The guy's done other movies,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing that were mind-blowing pictures or anything. Terminator Salvation was an okay movie, and he
wasn't in that.
What?
He wasn't in that.
Yeah, he was. He was Marcus. The man who thinks he's.
Oh, I thought you said Terminator Genesis.
No, I said Salvation.
I thought you said Genesis.
No, that I am not talking about the ups and downs of Jack Courtney's career.
Okay. There were ups to his career?
No, Sam Worthington is a talented actor, and I've seen his other movies, excluding Avatar and Terminator Salvation.
Right.
He's a talented man. We just need to let him, have the range to do other stuff.
He honestly feels to me he honestly feels to me like someone who's really good in a supporting role. He's a supporting actor. I don't think
look at Terminator Salvation. He was great as he played an excellent supporting role as Marcus.
Yep.
And he was freaking spectacular. My mind brain farted for a moment. He was also spectacular in Clash of the Titans.
Yep. And
he sold that whole movie on his own, and that also had an awesome cast.
I prefer Wrath of the Titans. I thought Wrath of the Titans was better.
I've actually not seen Wrath of the Titans all the way through.
I think it's a better movie to me than Clash was. Because you can't touch the original Clash of the Titans. The original Clash of the Titans is one of the best movies ever made. I love
Even with its incredibly outdated stop motion.
Dude, that stop motion was great for the time. That stop motion was amazing for the time.
With the fucking Kraken. No, it's just like
the fighting skeletons.
It's like watching King Kong if you were like a fucking sea monster.
Yeah, but it was good for the time. It was really
that was the shit back then.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's how they actually did the dinosaur stuff in Jurassic Park.
Oh god.
For a movie that CG still holds up today for something made in the fucking early 90s.
Well, no, the reason there's only like I think like only a couple minutes of CGI in Jurassic Park.
Well, the thing about it is that they actually did technically use a style of stop motion to do the CG.
Right, they did a style of stop motion to do the CG. They kind of incorporated that in, and then they also built practical effects.
Yes,
it wasn't just CGI.
Which were a pain in the ass on the production, especially during the first scene with the T-Rex.
Well, because they didn't build it for water, and then Spielberg went, I want the scene to... I want rain in the scene.
You think Spielberg would have learned his lesson working on Jaws, but...
Yeah.
No.
He just doesn't get along with water.
And then most of his movies have stuff that takes place, a big chunk that's set in the water. Jurassic Park, Jaws, Saving Private Ryan.
Yep. But fucking...
I think we're getting off track.
Okay, we're talking about how James Cameron is a weirdo now.
Okay, so alright, so... Your Avatar, I don't give a rat's ass.
Nobody gives a rat's ass, dude. I don't. Like, it's just like, nobody cares.
Yeah. Like, who is actually going to watch this movie?
I want to know. I've never heard anybody rewatching the movie on DVD.
Yeah, again, that's kind of the opposite thing, because I've only met people that like the movie.
Right, I've never met
anybody that dislikes it. My constant argument was the movie had a deceiving marketing campaign. They pitched it wrong.
Yeah, they pitched it.
I was expecting shitloads of explosions and like humans fighting 8-foot-tall aliens.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see, and I didn't get to see that.
You got a lesson about be nice to nature,
with a bunch of racial metaphors
that were so subtle.
And totally not in your face.
Yep, and
they were just the writers clearly knew what they were doing when they were coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, fucking just.
If you can't pick the sarcasm, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, just fucking. And then let's talk about the fact that this is going to be the third time that Terminator has tried to make a trilogy, to make a new trilogy. We have a trilogy of movies that tried to be trilogies and failed.
Yeah, it's just fucking failures across the board with this stuff.
Because we've got Terminator Salvation wanted to be a trilogy, Terminator Genesis wanted to be a trilogy, and now this new movie wants to be a trilogy.
Well, it's already setting itself in the right direction by somehow not taking the obvious bait here and being a proper follow-up to the best movie in the fucking franchise, Terminator 2.
No, it is a sequel to Terminator 2.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Like all the other movies, like Terminator 3 obviously was, but it wasn't any good. And then the other movies just clearly didn't follow up to that.
Well, I mean,
so I will give it some credit and say it's in the right direction by following up the greatest film in the franchise.
But also, my thing is, like, Terminator doesn't, like, there's not a lot of stories you can tell with Terminator.
Well, there are stories that have been told, but in comic books.
Right, in comic books.
No, comic books, like like Superman has to fight a fucking army of Terminators.
Right.
Or the time RoboCop ends up in the future after Judgment Day and fights Terminators.
Are you talking about the one where he kills the last human and goes back and inserts himself into Terminator 2?
Is that what happened?
There's a storyline.
Because I remember,
there is a storyline where RoboCop goes back and kills Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2, and then takes over as the protector for John Connor in Terminator 2.
Oh yeah, and he becomes a Terminator.
No, and then
wait, no, that's not what happened.
And then Omnicorp shows up because RoboCop also went back and gave plans of Ed 209 to the young CEO who was going to develop Omnicore on the deal of you show up at this place with a bunch of Ed-209s to try and kill the T-1000, and then they go on a battleship, and then the T-1000 tracks them down to a battleship, and the T-1000 actually kills John Connor.
Jeez. I actually kind of forgot about that. I just remember the part where he's in the future after Judgment Day and actually helps the Resistance fight the Terminators.
Oh, no. This one, there's only one human left at the beginning, and then, like, RoboCop gets taken over by Skynet for, like, a minute, and he kills the last human. And then he goes back to T2.
It was the same. There's, like, bits and pieces of this I'm forgetting, but it was all the same thing. Yeah. How was that not a movie?
Because it sucked.
It was at least more interesting than the other movies.
Yeah, but it wasn't good interesting.
No, it would have been schlock interesting, which is better than the other movies in the franchise.
Well, Genesis was just Genesis. I couldn't even... Genesis. They couldn't even spell Genesis right.
I blame my positive reaction to that movie for rose-colored glasses.
But Genesis was
and also the casting was pretty decent. I know we give
Jai Courtney was a terrible Kyle Reese.
Jai Courtney a lot of shit, but I thought in a very schlocky fashion he made a decent Kyle Reese.
No, he did not. He was uncharismatic as hell.
I said schlocky.
Okay.
I didn't say good. And then Emilia Clarke was a pretty convincing... Like, I know, me and some other people are on the same page saying that they got the right person to kind of bring the same charisma that Linda Hamilton brought to the character all those years ago.
But the writing just wasn't there.
The writing was not there. So, the acting was good, it's just what she was given to work with wasn't too good.
Well, and just, the best parts of the movie were the stuff they didn't show. Like, where's the movie of young Sarah Connor living with a Terminator?
That would have been... No, you remember Red Letter Media's review of the movie?
Yeah.
They explicitly said that they wanted a movie that explains all of that. That would have been a much better movie.
Right. Or where's...
I kind of have to agree. Like, I don't give a shit about a revamped like a retconned revamped version of future events in Terminator stuff. Like, I would have liked this self-contained story about a fucking machine having to raise a human kid.
That would have been awesome. Or
would have been hilarious.
Or where's the movie where, okay, because remember, Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor go to the future, right? They go to modern day. I want to see the movie of the Terminator just hanging out by himself working construction for all of those years.
They should have just made, that should have been the follow-up. They could have saved face by just making a follow-up that just fills in those gaps by showing us this stuff.
Yes. Just a comedy.
They never get to.
Just
also,
put the Terminator in a romantic comedy. Like, he's working at the construction and there's this girl who has a crush on him and he's like, I don't understand why you're here. Work is over. You can go home now. Oh, I just want to hang out. Why do you want to hang out with me? Oh, I don't know, you want to go to the bar? Bars. They have booze. Humans drink booze.
Dear God. That would have been more entertaining.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing. That would have added some validity to the ever-aging Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because he wouldn't have to do much.
Yeah.
He just would have to show up and they just have to, as Red Letter Media also said, they just put a shitload of Vaseline on the lens to youth him up.
Just squint. He doesn't look that bad. God, I love it. You turned me on to Red Letter Media, and I have to thank you for that, because they are amazing.
They're fucking hilarious. They are. But thank my buddy Austin from Michigan. He got me. He started me off with the Star Wars reviews, and from there, I became a fan.
Yeah,
they make great stuff.
But but like I said, apparently this is and Linda Hamilton's coming back for this new movie.
I'm telling people this too. They're like fucking surprised. Like, really? Like, it surprised me too. Like, how many zeros did they have to write on a blank check to get her to say yes to this?
I guarantee you it's going to be a supporting role, though. She's not going to be in the movie that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do Harrison Ford, like, Episode 7 levels of involvement with this.
All right, well, and then, because fucking, and then Arnold's back as well.
Yeah, because apparently... You know that the extended media and lore have established that Arnold isn't the only model, like, isn't the only face that they have for Terminators, right?
Yeah.
Like, they have a reasonably extensive library of fake faces that they have to be Terminators. Like, Arnold isn't the only one.
You know what movie I want?
Glad it's that way, because you remember that deleted scene from Terminator 3?
Oh, yes, the famous deleted scene where it's like,
yes.
"Hi, I'm Captain John Candy, and I'm proud." And then fucking guys like, "We gotta do something about the voice. We can fix it." What were they thinking?
I know that. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm like, what the hell is this? We thought this would be funny.
You know, here's the thing. I don't want a Terminator 6. I want a sequel to Genesis. You know what I want the sequel to be? Sarah Connor.
J.K. Simmons?
No. Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese have a child. And then they die. So then it's just Arnold as Pops and J.K. Simmons in a comedy taking care of a baby.
Like, coming to fall on Fox.
Yes, I would see that. Would you not see that show?
The story of a killer machine and an awkward humorous cop
And
raised a baby.
He's a robotic killer from the future, and he's a bumbling FBI agent. But now they have to take care of a baby? Coming this fall to Fox.
After we finally cancel Gotham. That's what's taking the time slot.
Would you not see that show?
Watch the shit out of that show. It'll be like the Sarah Connor Chronicles all over again if it were a comedy.
It'd just be like, J.K. Simmons would just be like, "No, what are you doing? You have to change the baby. This baby is leaking. I don't understand why." Arnold just yelling at the baby, "Go to the toilet." Baby's just sitting on the toilet. "Go to the bathroom. Now!"
Yeah, there's your movie.
And fucking J.K. Simmons goes to work, and he's expecting his lunch, but fucking he's got a can of oil because, you know, the Terminator packed his lunch, so he doesn't understand to give him sandwiches.
It's like, hey, Fox, we just pitched you your next Emmy winner.
Yes!
Get us on board, damn it.
That show would be amazing.
Oh, Terminator 6, this is what we need. This is what we need.
People would see that trailer, and you gotta do it like in like a Sony trailer, where it's like, you gotta do the thing of like, one of them's a killer robot, the other's a bubbling up. You gotta do that. You gotta do that narration.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you see the Peter Rabbit trailer?
What?
Yes.
I think I saw a commercial for it.
No, look up the Peter Rabbit trailer now.
Why?
Because it is the worst trailer I have ever seen. You know the trailers that Red Letter Media makes fun of, like at the end of their videos, where they like pitch an idea for a trailer?
Oh, I saw a commercial for this, and it looks so fucking terrible.
No, look at the trailer. Like, turn the volume low so we don't get like sued by Sony or something for like copyright. But
yeah,
fucking
the YouTube policy conditions are only getting worse.
I know, but fucking watch the trailer.
All right, I'm doing it.
Because I want to see your fucking reaction.
Oh yeah, Wes Anderson's doing another animated movie.
Yep.
All right, I'm watching.
Hold on, go back because I'll watch it with you, just so we can fucking.
These are our half-assed reaction videos within a video.
I refuse to do a reaction video. Which one? You're watching the minute 45 one, right?
No, the 203 one.
203.
203, like from. It was uploaded by Zero Media.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yep. 204.
All right.
All right, ready, set.
No, yeah, I'll make my comment in a moment. All right, here we go. All right, gotta keep the volume super low so we don't get sued.
Yep.
Peter with a blue jacket and no pants.
Yep.
Come on in. We've got the garden. Help yourself to anything. Wait, didn't you try to eat me? Show me your teeth. You like a go like.
Can you hear the modern hip song they got in there?
Oh God.
What the hell? Like, this is a trailer, people. This is like a parody trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then this just makes Peter and the animals dicks, because...
Oh my God, is that Domino Hall Gleason?
Yes.
Oh my God. No. No. Jesus Christ.
Just fucking...
What the fuck? What the hell is this?
Yep, and the deer headlights joke, because that's still funny.
Oh God. Oh my God. I want blood.
Dude, like,
this is such an
I
abomination.
thought this was fake. I honestly thought it was a fake trailer.
Like, no, I saw a commercial for this a few days ago. Like, what the hell is this? So watching this, like, oh God.
And they even do the thing where it starts off normal and it's like doing the whole like Peter Rabbit thing, and then it goes, and no pants, and then they bring up the pop song that was cool like 3 years ago.
That's like the trend. Like, Sony is trying way too fucking hard to ride the coattails of all these family-friendly animated movies when all the other companies are doing them decently while they're fucking it up.
Well, I mean, this is just...
Party sucked. The Emoji Movie sucked. This is going to suck. Smurfs also sucked.
Yeah. Well, it's just fucking... My thing with this is, like, it's fucking... What does this have to do with Peter Rabbit?
I don't know, man.
Because honestly, when I heard that they were making a Peter Rabbit movie, I didn't like do a lot of research, and I'm like, okay, that would be kind of cool. Like, you do it like a 90-minute, like in the art style of the book, and you know, do it like
like that could have easily been like a fully animated movie, but no, we have to do that hybrid of animation and live action, like.
And then it brings in the pop song. And Peter Rabbit's got to be cool and hip, so he's talking to the camera, you know, and all that shit.
It's fucking terror. I hate this. And the list of names they have in this movie, like, these are some big names.
Daisy Ridley is in this movie.
What?
Daisy Ridley is in this movie.
I noticed the name. Like, really? You think she'd know better? Margot Robbie, back and forth.
Well, like, if it was... Because when I saw those names, I'm like, well, these guys, you know, have been pretty good with scripts. I mean, I liked Margot Robbie in... what was that movie she did with Will Smith before Suicide? Focus. I liked Focus. You know, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe Sony has learned that they can't do these, you know, movies where they're just like, you know... The hip kids movies. They could just do a you know, just thing of like, you know, throwing in the random pop songs and all that crap, and it's just, you know, now we got all this shit going on in the movie, and it's so like predictable, you know, like it like I said, I mean, I keep hammering this point, but it's a parody trailer. It seems like it's a parody trailer. It doesn't seem like a trailer for a real movie.
It doesn't.
The animation, the CGI doesn't even look good.
It's almost like they're not making an effort anymore to make, like, it's strictly like, okay, how many corners can we cut, like, like with this stuff. Like, don't do that. You want to have that convincing hybrid of digital and live action, then you got to put some effort into it to disguise it. If not, then at least go the extra mile to do it as practical as you can. You know,
like if you took the
puppets or something.
If you took the Peter Rabbit name off of this and took the blue jacket off of off of Peter Rabbit, I wouldn't know this was Peter Rabbit.
No, I probably wouldn't either. Like, it's bizarre.
Well, and then here's my thing. The farmer from the book was a scary farmer, and this one, it's like, well, of course he's mad. Animals invaded his house and had a party and made a mess of his house. Like, he doesn't seem like the bad guy.
And it's Domhnall Gleeson!
Yeah.
He's awesome! This guy's awesome! This guy brought us so many wonderful performances in some great movies.
Yeah. I mean, he was chewing the scenery in The Force Awakens.
What? Like,
he was chewing the scenery in The Force Awakens.
Like, I almost kind of forgot that was him for a second because of how, like, vile and sinister he was in that.
Yeah.
Like, it was a completely different person in my eyes. Like, holy crap, that was him. He's a bastard in this movie. But he was great.
Yeah.
And now they're doing this to him. Like, oh, crap.
He must be getting a good paycheck out of this movie.
He must be. Sony's just burning money at this point. Because they keep making these all these family-friendly blunders. And it's getting ridiculous.
And we got off topic again. Unless you have something else to say about Peter Rabbit, do you want to talk about the James Cameron Wonder Woman thing?
We can just jump right to that, because that movie looks so terrible.
What? Peter Rabbit?
Yeah, that put, like, oh man, that I feel bad for those talented actors having to be in this turd.
Well, it looks like I said, it looks like a fake trailer.
It does.
It looks like a trailer. Honestly, it looks like. I hate coming back to Red Letter Media but to give an example again, when they talk about like fake trailers, this seems like something that they would have made up on their show.
Yeah. Or heck, like, they even did like a fake trailer for like a new Terminator movie. And it was just an excellent satire on how terrible the franchise has gotten up to this point.
Well, I mean, and but fucking back to James Cameron.
Yeah,
why does he hate Wonder Woman?
Yeah, why you gotta hate on Wonder Woman so much, James Cameron? What's the deal? What's your problem? Who hurt you?
I don't like. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. If he just didn't like the movie, I could understand that. Yeah. I would disagree with him, but I could understand it. But it's this thing of, Wonder Woman didn't do anything groundbreaking. No, like, not the fact that we've got a woman to finally be able to direct an action movie, which is awesome and did an amazing job, and that should be totally just, that's awesome that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Or that we got the first good female-led superhero movie.
Yeah. This film hit a lot of milestones.
Yeah.
With fine colors.
Yeah,
we need to pay super respect to that and be grateful that this happened when it did.
Exactly. And, is it a perfect movie? No, I have problems with the third act. I like the first two acts better. But, praise to the movie that it is really, 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 really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's... and his comments about, like, she looks too good? That was his major... Because you and I went through his comments before we started recording. And that's kind of what I got from it. It wasn't a thing of, like, actually, like, going after... Like, saying, well... you know, the character, like, it wasn't anything about the character, it was just how she looked. Like, from what I got from it, I mean,
I thought the costume design was kind of the best of both worlds.
Well, I would have preferred it, personally, I would have preferred it either giving Wonder Woman pants or making the skirt a little longer. Well, but that was just me.
If I were the costume designer, there's some tweaks that I would have made. But
exactly.
If you ask me personally, I feel it's the best of both worlds, paying homage to the many looks she's had throughout the comics, to kind of taking it, ripping it off the page, and putting it on the screen. But we also kind of have to, you know, suspension of disbelief and keep in mind that it is very accurate towards her setting and culture.
Right.
I mean, men were rocking skirts just as short when they went to battle.
Right. And also, it's just the thing of, like, it was, you know, all he had to do was say yes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, she looked fine, and I think it's kind of fair to kind of make her look so great in this film because she still has a bit of her innocence, and that reflects how colorful she is as a character. And then when you look back and see her appearance in Dawn of Justice, she's kind of washed out a little bit.
Right. You know, which
does nothing to this world.
Right. You know, and then all James Cameron had to do was say, "Yeah, the movie's good." That's all he had to do.
It's almost kind of reminding me, and I'm not shitting on the person. Like it's almost kind of reminding me of those out of context, like, well, those comments that Joss Whedon made about Jurassic World, seeing scenes that were completely out of context and calling them sexist.
Yeah, and like, exactly. But here's the thing: at least Joss Whedon apologized for that.
Yeah. Yeah, at least, you know, he understood that he was a bit out of line with what he said and politely, you know, apologized for that. Again, I'm not dumping on him. I'm just using an example.
Yeah. But no, I'm just saying, like, it
has yet to redact anything he said and only further putting his foot in his mouth.
Well, and then Linda Carter got up on him on Facebook. You know, we looked at that. Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Yeah. Come on, just
let it go, Cameron. Just let it go. Just let it go. Here's my thing. This is just a theory. I honestly think he feels threatened. Because for years, he was known as the director who brought us two strong female characters. Ripley from Aliens and Sarah Connor. I think when Wonder Woman came out and started saying it was the most progressive movie, it was a really good feminist movie, I think he felt threatened a little bit.
He shouldn't have to feel threatened because that's already part of his legacy.
Yeah, but he's
part of his legacy as one of the first filmmakers to do it for the modern generation.
Yeah, but he's older, and he hasn't made a good movie in almost 20 years.
The guy won an Oscar for Titanic. One of the most dramatic Oscar-baity films of its time.
Yeah.
He should just take the wins that he's gotten over the course of his career, past and present, and just accept that.
Well, I mean,
focus on the present, focus on what he wants to do now.
Right. You know, and just, it felt kind of wrong for him to throw Patty Jenkins under the bus a little bit.
It's very dickish of him to do that.
It was like, you know, but, I don't know, that was fucking...
No, it was out of line, and like, I'm not saying that we need to backlash and start hunting down James Cameron so they can take it back for real, but let's not let this slide. We got to make it clear that he done goofed by making these comments. He did
done goof. Yeah. Done goofed a little bit.
Again, let's not bash this man, but let's make it clear that he made a mistake, and there should be some kind of repercussions for it.
I don't think repercussions. I think he should just keep his mouth shut about it.
That too.
I honestly think the best thing to happen out of the situation would be for Cameron to just say, it's a good movie, and then nobody asks him about it anymore. Just leave it alone. Because you know the answer you're going to get. Just leave it alone. You know?
Yeah, just leave well enough alone, please.
But fucking...
Worst scenario, he just crippled the amount of audience members that are going to be going to his Avatar sequel.
Well,
and Terminator thing.
Yeah. I honestly don't think anyone's going to show up for Terminator 6. I honestly don't.
I will watch the trailer and see how much of a dumpster fire this is going to be, and that'll be the end of it.
Well, because you heard about the comments that he made, right? Speaking of the thing, where he's like, oh, you know, fucking the new lead in this Terminator movie, she's going to be like really hip and modern and be kind of like... I didn't
hear these comments. I pretty much stopped giving a rat's ass when I heard that he was making a 6th movie and Lincoln Hamilton was going to be in it.
Mm-hmm. Just let it die. Just let it die. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's career, just let it die.
Why can't we just, you know, why can't we just leave Schwarzenegger to just do what films he can do at his current age and physique?
Yeah.
Why can't more aging actors and actresses just embrace the limits, like their limits these days, and just make movies in coordinates with, in relation to that? I mean, there are some good examples. Jeff Daniels has dialed back the stuff that he does to do more laid-back characters, like in The Martian or Looper. Bill Pullman did the same thing. He's not a young man anymore. He's just, focused on doing laid-back stuff. Does anyone remember Bill Pullman doing a shitload of stuff in the Independence Day sequel? No, not really.
Yeah.
He didn't do much, and that was fine.
Yeah. But fucking,
there's many other examples.
Or Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is kind of, Yeah. I mean, I love Jeff Goldblum, and I miss him, but,
a lot of us do. A lot of us do. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's fucking Jeff
Goldblum.
But
they embrace the fact that they are not young people anymore, and there are limits to what they can do.
Exactly. But fucking,
Mr. Jackie Chan is making a comeback movie.
Well, speaking of speaking of that, how was I gonna fucking say? Do we want to talk about the DC standalone movies that are still happening? Apparently, like the Joker movie is officially going to be separate from the DCEU.
I do recall hearing this.
And they want to do more, standalone movies. But
they have their right, it's within their rights to do these kinds of movies.
I mean, whatever. But I just think it's going to be confusing for audience members.
It is going to be very confusing to establish what's what.
Exactly.
That's why I think, don't you think it'd make more sense to, instead of making loose or direct adaptations of iconic comics as standalone movies, when you can just retcon and rework some of the stuff to fit into the bigger picture of your movie universe?
Yeah, that's fine. And
that's fine with me. If it's done well.
Yeah. But fucking, Did you hear that we're getting a Teen Titans Go not live action, we're getting a Teen Titans Go animated movie?
Oh, crap. The show isn't good, people. The show isn't good. Neither was the Powerpuff Girls remake thing.
It's just...
They basically dumped on Gendy Tartakovsky and whoever created Teen Titans with these shows.
Yeah, it's just...
They dumped on some really good creators. At least Gendy has, Samurai Jack to be his legacy.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for the beginning movie to premiere in theaters. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's just fucking... But yeah, it's just.
But yeah, they are crapping on some really great legacies by making this, and that's just.
Right. Oh,
yeah, who's gonna go watch that?
Yeah, but fucking okay. Speaking with DC, I want to talk about these news articles that are coming out, and we kind of talked about this a little bit with the whole Ben Affleck thing, where people are taking statements and trying to get clickbaity stuff. Did you read the article about how Warner Brothers said apparently they're gonna de-emphasize the cinematic universe when they do the standalone stuff?
Yes.
People assume, like, oh, they're not going to do a cinematic universe anymore. No, if you actually read the article, what they're saying is they want their standalone movies to be standalone movies.
Yeah, while the bigger universe is going into effect and playing out on its own, these standalone movies are going to carry out on their own merit individually to be just as big.
Right.
That's the whole point. Well, on one hand, we have a movie universe of big ideas. We have another sort of like other universe of standalone, self-contained stories that are just as important.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
No need to misinterpret, misunderstand, no big conspiracy, nothing. That's pretty much what they are doing.
Yeah.
Two separate things that are going to be just as important as one another. That's the whole gist.
Right. So. But
no one's gonna listen. The next time they start, somebody opens their mouths and talks more about this, people are just gonna be like, "Oh, they totally meant this."
It's just fucking.
They actually meant this.
Right. Oh, it's just fucking.
Like, if you just bother to read these articles or do the research, you'll know the facts. You'll know what's up.
on this, like I said, on this show, we're not trying to do clickbaity stuff. We're trying to do to the best of our integrity, look at the stories and give our honest opinions and try to look at it from both sides.
Yes.
We're not trying to be like fucking.
Let our awkwardness and terrible senses of humor speak for themselves.
Exactly. Fucking. Unlike certain people on YouTube, John Campia and fucking Collider. Not that I'm mentioning anybody by fucking name. But fucking
yeah, don't interpret my laughter as something that it isn't. I totally I'm not saying anything. You're not saying anything.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting here just doing a podcast, man. Fucking
we're not saying anything too like out of the blue.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking.
I'm not saying nothing.
Exactly.
Speaking of Warner Brothers, production on their Godzilla sequel just wrapped.
I saw that.
And Godspeed that it is a better monster movie than Godzilla.
Well, Godzilla isn't a monster movie. Godzilla is a movie about a character played by Aaron Taylor Johnson that had all. I'm convinced that character had all of the charisma sucked out of him. In a surgery before the movie started, because I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't give a shit about his character in the Godzilla movie, and Godzilla's in that movie for less than 10 minutes.
Well, I'm not going to say that they got the wrong guy to direct this movie, but they got the wrong guy to direct this movie.
Well, here's the thing.
Because his previous movie was literally a monster movie that was not a monster movie. It was about the characters coexisting in a world where there are monsters.
And that's fine for monsters that we don't have any investment in, but it's Godzilla.
The otherwise the king of all monsters, damn it.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
When you make a movie,
I loved Kong Skull Island.
No, that movie's fucking amazing.
Well, it's a B movie. It's
great.
It's
go ahead.
It's a cheesy B movie. Kong is in the movie the full time, and it's almost like just a movie you find. It's a scripted movie you would find at a video store that was just kind of like, oh, here's a fun cheesy movie with cheesy effects, but they have really, really good effects, so it just makes it fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it plays to the strengths that it is not trying to be serious.
Right.
Like, if you watch Kong Skull Island and think that it is a serious monster movie, then I think you might need to get your eyes checked, because it is definitely not that.
I mean, when they're playing, also, I love the fucking soundtrack in that movie. When they're playing 70s songs, oh my god.
No, that's like that's a great example of using like classic music. They knew how to use those songs effectively in those scenes where it's used.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a fun B movie. I don't know how I feel about it becoming a cinematic universe, but like Kong Skull Island, I'm like, this is.
What I liked about the movie is that how it laid the foundation for being connected to Godzilla without being all in your face about it.
Except in the post-credit scene.
Except in the post-credits.
But
for the most part,
yeah.
Like unless you are instinctively paying attention to what's set up in Godzilla, you're probably not going to pick up on those connections in Kong Skull Island. Like, I immediately watching the movie, I picked up on all those connections, and there's a particular scene that in theory spoon feeds you that information, but unless you know what's going on here, you're not going to pick up on it.
Exactly.
That's how I like it.
Exactly.
Go out of your way to find this stuff. It's great. So I look forward to the crossover film in 2020, but I'm kind of skeptical about what this sequel is going to be doing. Because if it's just going to be boring human character, boring human ensemble character story featuring an appearance by Godzilla, then I'm probably not going to watch it.
But if they get... Because is the guy who directed Kong Skull Island doing the King Kong...
I don't know. Let's look this up.
We should probably look stuff up. We should probably start looking stuff up before we start recording.
What are you talking about? We do like half the research every now and again.
Half the research, yeah, it's fine.
We're not pulling this stuff out of our ass.
Mm-hmm. No, he's not directing it.
Oh, he's not.
He's directing the Metal Gear Solid movie, apparently.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I totally forgot about that. I'm actually kind of amped up for the Metal Gear Solid movie. Because unlike most other video game movies, it's actually being made by a person that knows what they're making.
Right.
Like, this guy, like, in interviews, like, I was really impressed by this guy's knowledge of the franchise. Like, wait a second. This guy actually knows what Metal Gear Solid is?
Mm-hmm.
One of the most popular yet confusing video game series ever?
And, like, weirdly toned video games ever.
Yeah. Hideo Kojima is one of the greatest visionaries ever. One of the biggest minds in video games of all time. But he does not understand subtlety.
He doesn't understand subtlety or tone. Because it'll be...
And I give him credit for being bold, but when he has an agenda, when he has a message that he wants to convey, he is in your face 20 times over, pounding you over the head with a very large mallet, telling you what he's trying to convey.
Yeah, it's like, are you getting what I'm saying? Are you getting what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, and it's everything else about the games that makes me very impressed, and I'm a diehard fan of the series.
Right.
It's great stuff. I love it.
Fucking,
So, I'm very confident. I'm very confident that this movie, whenever it gets made, whenever it goes into production, is going to be good.
Exactly.
Just do me a favor. Get Chris Evans and get Kiefer Sutherland to be in the movie. That's all I'm asking for.
Speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, segue into...
I totally didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, we totally did that on purpose. We're totally professionals and planned this all out before we hit record. What are you talking about? Fucking, Jesus fucking Christ, that Flatliners remake, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking,
Prior to recording, we got the review score, and the score is...
0.
Big fat 0.
A big fat fucking goose egg.
Yeah.
The original Flatliners is a 90s cult classic. I mean, it didn't get great reviews. Like, people either liked the movie or didn't, and that's why the kind of score's like 50-50. I personally like the movie. It's not a great movie, but it's got some charm to it, and I really like the idea behind it. This new movie apparently is just like a jump scare fest.
Well, the commercials are, like, don't even hold back. Like, it's basically just showing tame versions of those jump scares.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's, like, I don't understand why it got made. It's kind of less, I almost get the feeling it's like a less tame It.
Yeah.
At least It had a very good marketing campaign.
Well, and then also, the original movie was rated R, and this is PG-13.
Yeah.
And
this isn't RoboCop, where you can give it a PG-13 rating and it still manages to be a pretty decent action movie.
My thing with the RoboCop remake was, like, it's fine. I thought the RoboCop remake was okay. I didn't think it was amazing. It wasn't as good as it was not as good as the original, because the original...
No, it's got nothing on the original cult classic from '87.
Yes.
It's got on it. But I respect it and love it because it does so, because instead of trying to be an identical remake with modern everything, it's just exploring some new ideas and new potential with the character and premise.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
And I like it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I won't go out of my way to watch it. If I'm going to watch a RoboCop movie, I'll watch the original. But
I know. If the reboot's playing, I'll definitely watch it. But if I had my choice, I will watch the original.
Yeah.
Because Peter Weller still got it.
Peter Weller and the violence of the movie is amazing.
Oh no, that's where squibs are used perfectly.
Oh, and it's just such a vibe. And that first movie is so quotable. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
That's like one of the greatest quotes ever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so it's just like so clever, and I mean, it's coming from a machine, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and fucking just.
What about it?
And it's so smart with its satire. Yeah,
something that the reboot tried to do, but not as good.
It wasn't as it just wasn't as strong, and it didn't know what it wanted to be.
Well, it tried to focus more on.
Although the remake has one thing on the original. It's got Michael fucking Keaton.
And Samuel L. Jackson. Come on, man.
Samuel L. Jackson's barely in the fucking movie.
But when he's in it, you don't forget it.
You don't forget it. But I'm just saying, it's Michael fucking Keaton.
It is Michael fucking Keaton. It's awesome.
That is his new name. It's Michael fucking Keaton.
Yeah.
It's fucking Batman.
That's fair. A character that almost was played by Alec Baldwin and Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Oh man, how different the world would have been if that actually happened.
And then fucking Eddie Murphy was almost Robin.
Yeah, he was. Oh man.
Fucking.
But yeah, Flatliners sucks. Don't watch it.
I mean, it's just.
Take our word for it as two guys that haven't watched it.
Yeah, take our guys for two guys who haven't fucking watched it. Have you seen the original?
No.
That should be our next commentary. The original Flatliners.
Okay. I'm game. That sounds fun. That sounds good. I'm a Kiefer Sutherland fan, and also Kevin Bacon. He's in it.
Kevin Bacon, Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland. Back when Joel... Here's the thing. If it was Flatliners, Joel Schumacher, making a Batman movie, it would have been great.
Yeah. Because
he actually had a pretty good tone with... Because you go back and watch movies like, he directed The Lost Boys and fucking, Flatliners, and he kind of had this dark, moody atmosphere to everything he did. And it's like, oh, he would have done actually a really good Batman movie, except he didn't get to make a Batman movie.
No, he basically got to make a movie that was basically the visual aesthetic of Tim Burton's movies with the charm of the 60s show.
Right. Well, it's just...
They're two distinctly different things and basically just mushed them together.
Right, well, I mean, he directed fucking... I mean, he directed some really good stuff. Like, he directed St. Elmo's Fire, The Lost Boys, Flatliners, Falling Down.
He had it back then, but not so much then at that point and then today. No. Mm-hmm. Like, the last thing I ever heard from him is when he was in negotiations with DC to make a comic book adaptation of his unmade third Batman movie.
Well, which would have because fucking. Do you want to talk about Flatliners more? Do you want to talk about like what I heard about Batman Triumphant, which was the working title supposedly for that film, even though it was never supposed to be called that.
We know very little about what Batman Triumphant could have been.
Well, no, there are some stuff. I
did a bit of reading into this, but I never did extensive research.
Apparently, the villains were going to be Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. It was either Scarecrow was either going to be played by Nicolas Cage or Jeff Goldblum.
Oh dear.
In the 90s, though.
Oh dear.
And then Madonna was going to play Harley Quinn, who was going to be the Joker's daughter.
Oh my god, I remember that detail.
And then fucking apparently the tone was going to be darker than Forever but lighter than the original film. So it was going to be in between that. And there's this amazing scene that apparently was was pitched, and it sounded amazing. Apparently Batman was going to end up in Arkham. And there was going to be a fear sequence, like when he's dosed with fear toxin. And all of the villains from the previous movies were going to show up as fear-induced hallucinations. Like Jack Nicholson was going to come back. All of the villains were going to come back. And it was going to be them supposedly putting Batman on trial.
It just reminds me that at some point there needs to be an animated or live-action adaptation of the actual Arkham Asylum comic.
Yes.
At some point that needs to happen.
Because I love the Arkham Asylum comic, but the art is terrible.
The art is very terrible, but it is a well-made story.
It's an amazing story.
It is one of the most perfect analyses of Batman as a character,
and the villains,
too. It's
like
the greatest.
What they did with Two-Face in that. You know, trying to weed him off the coin onto dice and onto other stuff to show him that there's more than two choices, and stuff like that. It was like a real kind of thing, and the art is just so terrible in that.
It's almost kind of like, again, it would make great for an adaptation because then we could probably get like it's almost a definite eyesore to read.
It is hard to read.
If you can get an audiobook, get an audiobook. I don't think there is one, but if you can, get one because your eyes are going to get a little bit sore going through those panels.
It's just like if I'm turning the page and I look at a panel and I'm like, is that supposed to be a hand? Is that supposed to be a face? Like, what is this?
It's like, oh wait, that's supposed to be Batman. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just fucking like...
It's weird. It's very weird.
It's very weird.
But a great story. Again, if it could get turned into a movie, animated or live action, that would be... I think that would be great for Ben Affleck to do.
Yeah.
That'd be great for Batfleck to tackle.
Yeah, just fucking... just fucking...
Just going through the dark hallways of Arkham Asylum and just tackling his inner demons and problems with his rogues gallery.
Yeah, just fucking...
Doesn't even have to be an action movie. Just be like a drama.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need an action. It'd just be a character-driven story starring Batman and his villains.
Yeah. Just fucking...
Pitched a fan film for you up-and-coming filmmakers.
Yeah.
You want to pay awesome respect to your love of Batman? Make an adaptation of that.
Fucking, that would be great.
You could do it one location with a relatively small budget and make art.
Mm-hmm. Fucking,
be great.
The only thing that this Flatliners movie is going to be good for me is, like, showing how much I actually miss Kiefer Sutherland as an actor.
Well, he's sort of come back.
I know, but I want him in more movies.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Supposedly, Schumacher wanted him to play Robin forever.
We're getting a light interjection here.
It's fantastic. Designated survivors.
I was just about to mention that.
Can't give that up.
I should have mentioned I'm in a hotel room right now recording this. So there's other people in there. But yeah, it should be noted that Kiefer is kicking ass on television in Designated Survivor.
Well, apparently Schumacher wanted him to play Robin in Batman Forever.
Oh, God.
That would have been weird to have Robin have a more intimidating voice than Batman.
It would have been. I also probably wouldn't have, like... I would have ended up tearing that movie to pieces because Kiefer's played some really awesome characters, but I give him a lot of credit for playing friggin' Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
He got to play one of the most hard-earned, toughest characters in video game everything.
Yeah.
You want to it's like you want to list you want a character to fear. You want a character that's really well done. Just look at his performance as Naked Snake, as Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah. Fucking just...
He unfortunately doesn't get much to say, but what little he does get to say is well done.
Yes.
And it is his face making those expressions.
Do we have anything else that we want to talk about? Because we're at an hour right now.
Oh, I think we're only scratching the surface. I mean, I'm looking at... Let's dog out, since we're piling on criticism. Let's ruin Marvel's day by talking crap about Inhumans.
Oh, fuck that show. Fuck that. Oh, we gotta fucking talk about this shit. Apparently, there's reports that the only reason ABC renewed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is from pressure from Disney, which, I fucking knew it because I have not met a single goddamn person who watches that show.
Neither have I. I watched the pilot, and then I stopped. This isn't my cup of tea. I love Marvel.
Yeah.
But this isn't for me.
I watched the pilot as well. I think I gave it 2 more episodes. I think I stopped watching at the Thor Dark World episode.
Okay. Well, I feel like they just keep dragging their feet through the mud to the next season.
How many seasons is that show on now? I want to fucking look this up.
I want to say 4. I want to say it's 4.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on its... Well, it's going to get a 5th season, but right now it's on season 4.
Yep. Because, its first season was post-Avengers. Its second season, I don't even remember what they did in the second season. Third season was riding the massive coattails of
Age of Ultron, I think.
Yeah, post Winter Soldier and Age of Ultron. And then this 4th season was, oh hey, we have Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that made that stand out to me. Wait, they have Ghost Rider? But my problem is that they finally get Ghost Rider back, yet they put him on the wrong freaking show.
Yeah.
He should have been a Netflix show.
Yeah, not Iron Fist.
I don't care that it's the latest incarnation of Ghost Rider. I don't care. In fact, I think this new one is actually, kind of interesting. I'm a little interested. I don't know enough about him.
It should be Dan Ketch.
Well, I have not. That doesn't bother me. But if they were to make a Netflix show, yeah, it should be Danny Ketch.
Because Danny Ketch to me is Ghost Rider. He's the one.
You're when you've had enough of Johnny Blaze.
Well, Johnny, they, because Dan Ketch was the one who got the name Spirit of Vengeance. He was the one with the chain. He was the one with the penance stare. And all of that. Everything people know as Ghost Rider came from Danny.
Because he was conceived in the hardcore 90s.
Well, because you know how Danny Ketch got made, right?
Loosely, but
okay. What happened was, Ghost Rider was a character who they did the original run with Johnny Blaze, and then they actually ended it. Johnny Blaze actually got an ending as a character, and then he just didn't show up for a long time. And I forget who the writer was, but he was at Marvel, and he said, hey, I'm a big fan of Ghost Rider, I want to do Ghost Rider, I want to do Ghost Rider, I want to do Ghost Rider. And then finally Marvel said, okay, you can do Ghost Rider, but you can't use Johnny Blaze. So that's how he ended up creating Danny Ketch.
Okay.
And then, he just fucking,
Because Danny Ketch is a very interesting character.
Well, and then he was the one who was on, Midnight Suns, team. Where it was him, Blade, and a couple of other characters that were the Midnight Suns.
He's also part of the Marvel Knights.
Which is awesome. I love him as Marvel Knight. But
Yes.
Marvel Knights was like the one good thing Marvel really did in the 90s.
Yes.
Marvel
and haven't really done much with today.
Right.
Like, the only exposure the Marvel Knights really got these days was loose branding in some of their movies.
Yeah, because it's weird, because, like...
Well, I was kind of interested to see, like, I remember watching Punisher Warzone in the theater, like, and they did the Marvel Knights label, like, are they going to do a universe with the Marvel Knights? And it only got as far as the Ghost Rider reboot, nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I'm surprised they didn't try to make, I'm surprised they didn't put the Marvel Knights logo on Daredevil.
They should have. Like, that could have been, like, their Phoenix and be like, alright, so it didn't work in movies, why don't we bring this back from the ashes for the Netflix stuff?
Yeah.
But nope, they're not doing it.
Oh.
And that bums me out.
That bums me out,
cool.
I'm still waiting for fucking, I'm still waiting for Daredevil to show up in a fucking movie.
It's gonna happen. We just have to we just have to be loud enough to voice that and get it made.
It's just fucking like, I don't know.
We need to get Ghost Rider in
We
the
need to
Netflix.
get Ghost Rider in a movie.
We need to cancel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I don't think anybody's bothering to care about that anymore. So yeah. Put him on the Netflix shows because that's where he would do better because he would not be weighed down by the censors, obviously.
And they would have the budget to do it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he needs to transform in every episode, but he needs to transform in every episode.
I'd like them to carry, because a lot of what I liked about Spirit of Vengeance was how they actually did a better job of embodying the crisis of Johnny being Ghost Rider.
Well, I like Spirit of Vengeance better than the first one, because, yeah, Spirits of Vengeance doesn't make any sense, and it's a bad movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's it's fun to see Ghost Rider actually, be Ghost Rider.
Well, and it's also, because that's the one where Nick Cage actually got to play Ghost Rider. He didn't get to play Ghost Rider in the first movie.
I was kind of, surprised, wait, he's the titular character, yet he doesn't even play him?
No, he didn't play Ghost Rider in the first movie.
Yeah, I know. It was all stunt doubles.
Yep.
And then in this, he actually got to go full Nick Cage and do the motion capture and everything.
Which is, do you remember that part where he first shows up and he starts swaying back and forth and standing there and somebody makes a move and he, speeds towards them and, stands in front of them?
Yeah.
Because apparently Nick Cage was like, oh, I'm basing my performance of Ghost Rider on, this snake. On a cobra. And I'm just like, that's amazing.
Well, again, I like all the Ghost Rider scenes because these are totally things that Ghost Rider would do.
Yeah.
He's the most extreme example of a loose cannon.
Well, I like that Nick Cage is kind of insane when he plays it.
Yeah.
But fucking,
Yeah, so this is how he should be depicted in all media.
Well, I mean...
Especially that first transformation.
Yeah.
He's just going freaking mental as he's changing, and it's super weird, and it's just, you can't help but smile at how cool that is.
It's just, well, it's
comics.
It's insanity. The movie is just insanity on film. And it's just, oh my god.
But hey, at least, Nick Cage got to do what he loves, and Idris Elba got the better end of the stick being in a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think Nick Cage in the 90s could have done something more with the role.
Yeah.
In a
post spur of bad action movies and Face Off, he probably could have done something a lot different with the character.
Well, because here's the thing. Face Off is the greatest movie ever made up until Nick Cage becomes the good guy. Because when he's the villain, he's amazing.
Yeah. He's just doing his thing.
He's just being Nick Cage and just, oh my god.
Thanks, John Woo. He did something great.
Well, he did something great in the beginning, and then it's like, no, I don't want to see Nick. Although
No.
I do love that scene where Travolta tries to channel Nick Cage in the prison, and he's just like, woo wee, you good looking. It's like looking in a mirror, only not. Oh, I just love that.
Okay, it's a great, cool classic film.
It is a great.
It is great.
Well, it's a fun film.
Don't ever remake that, Hollywood. I swear.
Yeah, don't remake.
Don't ever do that. Travolta and Cage aren't what they used to be, but that movie is to be untouched.
It's glorious. Because I'll just sometimes when I'm feeling low, I'll just go on YouTube and watch Nick Cage face off and just see the amazingness that is Nick Cage.
I think we should campaign again and like give him one last shot to be Ghost Rider.
Apparently, he doesn't want to be Ghost Rider anymore. He's just kind of.
I remember back in the day he was singing a different tune. He was kind of like, maybe, but nowadays he's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think this would be the perfect opportunity to bring in Danny Ketch.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Well, because here's the thing, because Johnny Blaze does show up in the Danny Ketch comics, but you know what he is? He's a hard-drinking, hard-smoking punk, like, rocker who uses a shotgun that shoots fire and burns your soul.
Well, yeah, he was really burnt being the Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Like, that thing, like, being that changed his life immensely. He is a completely different character when Danny runs into him.
Yeah. And fucking,
it's kind of cool.
And you know what's funny? That Marvel comic, like, Johnny Blaze has never been addressed in a Ghost Rider comic that I want someone to address.
What?
Because in the Danny Ketch run, like, the last time we see Johnny, his kids are kidnapped. Okay? And that's the last we see of him until he becomes Ghost Rider again. And... Or no, I think it's in that run. I think it's when he comes back as Ghost Rider. It's at some point his kids get kidnapped. And that storyline's never dealt with. Like, I just want someone to be like... I just want Johnny, like, one day in the comic to be like, oh shit, I never found my kids!
At least, you know, he'll get it. At least then he could probably get a more positive resolution than he did in the Ultimate comics.
Ugh.
His backstory in those are just depressing.
But fucking, you know, just...
We Ghost Rider is something we can tackle another day.
Something...
We need to cancel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first.
Ghost Rider is... The problem that Ghost Rider has as a character is that the writers keep trying to fix his origin. And I'm like,
his origin is that complicated.
Well, his origin gets more and more complicated.
Well, yeah, and, like, some writers were able to, like, modernize it and reinterpret it quite nicely. Again, I mentioned the Ultimate comic books,
right,
which are very depressing, but it's an interesting read, like,
and then,
on his character.
Like fucking, what was I saying? I think, what was I saying? I had a point and I lost it. Because originally Johnny was supposed to be the only Ghost Rider, and that Ghost Rider in the original run was this demon. Okay? And then at the end of the original Ghost Rider run, he gets sealed in this amulet and gets locked away. And that's the end of that. And then Danny gets his Ghost Rider is a spirit of vengeance. It's not the same Ghost Rider, so it's a different thing. But then, when Johnny became Ghost Rider again, he just became Ghost Rider. Like, there's no explanation. And then it turns out that apparently his Ghost Rider, is an angel. That all Ghost Riders ever have been angels. Which doesn't make any sense. And then also there's been Ghost Riders throughout history. And it's just like, just don't deal with his origin and you'll be fine.
Well, I think the idea of giving it kind of like there's more than one is kind of interesting, but it's unnecessary.
Unless you're gonna do a comic run with it. Like, there's a Ghost Rider who rides an elephant that's on fire, and I'm like, I want to know this guy's story.
Well, again, it's kind of like, it'd just be a lot more simpler if it was just, there's one Ghost Rider, you can add the fact that there's like a series of them, but it's one spirit, one host, they do their thing, and then somebody else gets it. Yeah. It could be as simple as that, and that would be fine.
Simple, easy, done. You don't need too much explanation.
It can be just as simple as that. Come up with interesting backstories for each one of them, but it doesn't need to be that there's a shitload of them.
Exactly.
It's just a one at a time deal, and that's fine. It's kind of like the Darkness. It's a one at a time type of deal.
Yeah.
Or Spawn.
Fucking,
another.
Or that character I pitched you that I want to do a series about.
Yeah.
But fucking
things simple.
Yeah, something kind of cool and simple. But fucking all right, what else do we want to talk about? Because we cancel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., cancel Inhumans, cancel The Gifted. Please, let's stop that. All that. It's just... fucking Dark Phoenix is apparently going to be a 2-parter.
Yeah, I think I don't care. I'm not going to care about this movie. Apocalypse was just so blah.
Except for the Quicksilver scene.
They basically just did the same thing from Days of Future Past, just with updated mechanics.
Yeah, but I like the song.
Oh yeah, I thought that was kind of some nice nostalgia there. But they basically did the same thing with some updated mechanics behind the scenes to make it visually more appealing.
Right.
Like I actually found how they shot it very interesting. They actually how they shot it was pretty standard, but the techniques they did in editing were actually really cool. Like they significantly raised the frame rates.
Yeah.
Like it's still the movie still runs at 24 frames per second, but for that one scene in editing to really create the idea that he's moving super fast through the mansion, they raised the frame rate significantly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it was like 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's actually really cool.
Right.
Yeah. But
it's just
I found the overall movie to be very blah.
Yeah.
I thought, and again, I have my own personal problems with this new series of X-Men movies that I probably shouldn't go into, but I don't like the direction that it's going in. I have nothing wrong. I actually had nothing wrong with the new cast, that like the younger versions of the characters that they got for. No, I thought they all were good.
Fucking
the fact that it was a blah movie.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Well, fucking I would have just rather had Matthew Vaughn stay on it.
Yeah. I felt, X-Men First Class was a very great film, and it was because of Matthew Vaughn's directing.
Right. Well, and because Matthew Vaughn made X-Men fun again.
Yeah. Like, we didn't need all the super dark, depressing stuff. They
wore costumes. You know? They wore fucking costumes. Magneto's helmet has that weird thing in front of it. I don't know why it's there, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I always thought that his helmet looked better without it. Made it kind of dorky looking, but whatever.
I mean, it's fucking...
Whatever. And even at the end, like the final shot of the movie, his costume was super nostalgic, like classic Magneto.
Oh, it's classic Magneto. It was amazing. Fucking just...
And then he never wears it again.
Yeah.
Because we have to make Magneto, we have to make all the characters look badass. Like, in this case, it was the 60s. But hey, they even made those classic yellow and blue uniforms look awesome.
Which I love. It's not yellow and black, it's yellow and blue.
And they look amazing.
They look amazing. And fucking... Matthew Vaughn. Fucking, speaking of Matthew Vaughn, do you want to talk about how Kingsman 2 is getting divisive reviews?
It is?
Yeah.
I heard that it was initially getting good reviews.
It is at a 50%.
Holy crap.
But here's
That
the thing:
is
critics are to 50%. The audience score is at a 72.
Okay, that's believable. Well, the thing about Kingsman is that it's a very loose adaptation, because I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know this.
It's a comic book, yeah.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of a comic book, a very loose adaptation of a comic book. But it's the kind of loose adaptation that's done really well.
Well, I think
it's not like Kick-Ass, where it takes a lot of stepping stones from the source material and then does a few things different.
Right.
No, it just takes the foundation and the basic premise and then goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Excluding the part where they abduct Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Which actually happened in the comic book.
Yeah.
Except for some reason in the movie they couldn't just have it actually just be like, oh hey, we're kidnapping Mark Hamill.
Right.
Why they had to make him like an original character within the context of the movie made no sense to me.
I don't know, but
whatever. He's in the movie. Who cares?
Fucking
But yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I haven't had a chance to see the movie, so I don't know. So I honestly don't know. Yeah. I thought the trailers were cool, even though I found the first one to be very spoilery.
The trailer?
Yeah. Like one of the biggest selling points in marketing tactics of the movie is Harry still alive?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
The trailer blatantly shows you that he's alive, when that should have been a surprise in the movie.
Right.
Like, they even managed to keep production well under wraps so that, like, no photos leaked from the set showing it.
Right.
But they had to show it in the trailer and ruin the surprise?
I don't know. But it's just fucking... I don't know. But, like, I mean, I still love the first Kingsman movie. I haven't seen the second one yet, and I'm probably gonna go... I wanted to go this weekend, I just didn't get the time, so...
Yeah, well, I like it because it's just a nice modern... It's a nice modern satire on spy movies.
Well, it's not even no satire. It's just kind of like a love letter to the old spy movies.
Yeah.
You know?
It obnoxiously has a bit of a habit to be in your face about it, but it's kind of adorable.
That was part of the charm of it, you know?
Yeah,
and plus,
it's adorable in your face, kind of like, oh, hey, look at us. We like to pay respect to spy movies.
Plus, they use Freebird when Colin Firth is going apeshit on basically the West Baptist Church. And it's amazing.
Hey, we have no sympathy for them. They were a bunch of politically right-wing racist pricks. Who cares if they died?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, I mean, I get to watch people I hate die, and I get to listen to Freebird and see some of the best action I've seen in a long time? Holy shit.
And yet, for some reason, we still don't have a sequel to Wanted.
I don't...
What the hell, James McAvoy? Where is it?
I mean, apparently, I don't know if... Does McAvoy want to do another one?
No, he definitely wants to do another one. He's closely tied to the production of the sequel.
Okay.
He keeps telling us that they're going through screenplays.
Okay.
Like, after production on the sequel that was going to be a prequel canned and the project was canceled, McAvoy and some writers came together and like, we want to do a sequel. We want to do an actual follow-up.
Right.
But they're still writing the script.
Yeah.
And not enough people are asking about it that we can get updates. Like the last time, I don't remember. Like I think it was maybe over a year ago that we got an actual update on the progress of the project, and all we really genuinely basically got was it's being written.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Splinter Cell movie where there's a creative team behind the project, but they're still writing the screenplay, so there's really no production until that gets done.
Right.
Which is kind of unfortunate because I would like to see the movie. I was a fan of the comic. I thought it was really awesome. I thought the movie was again kind of like Kingsman, a loose adaptation that.
Well, it's a very loose adaptation.
It is very loose. Again, I would be surprised if there's anybody out there that was like, "Wait, this is based on a comic book?"
Yeah.
Like,
because in the comic book. The main guy's supposed to be Eminem, and the Angelina Jolie character is supposed to be Halle Berry.
Yeah,
and it's like it's more of a supervillain thing than
It's Yeah, I think we would have got a much different movie if we actually got an adaptation of the comic book where it's a fraternity of villains that don't give no fucks.
Yep. Well, because the whole movie, I read a review years ago where somebody kind of hit what the Wanted movie was, like it hit it right on the head, and they said this is Harry Potter for Columbine kids.
Oh God.
For fucking yeah. And I'm just like, that's what it is. It's Harry Potter for, like, teenagers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it is about your average guy basically taking control of it, fully taking control of his life to do what he never could, and just going from there.
And not a lot of people remember Chris Pratt's in that movie.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people thought, like, oh yeah, he got his big break on Parks and Recreation and in the Marvel movie. No, he's been in the acting game a long time.
Yeah, he was in Wanted. He was great in Wanted. He was playing that likable dick that you have at work.
Yeah, he's that one guy that you're somehow friends with and you don't know why. It's like you just hang out and you just talk and you have no idea why the two of you even go out of your way to spend time together. You just do.
Are you planning to hit me across the face with a keyboard and spell out "fuck you"?
No. Why would I do that?
You're so defensive about it.
No, there's no way I'd do that.
Ugh.
There's probably another guy I would do that to, but it's definitely not you.
Yay! Not
to say that I'm gonna do it to anybody, but there's a possibility I might. But that's for you to know.
See,
like,
now you can't do that to anybody now because now we have it on video evidence.
You better not. Like, you're not going to use this to incriminate me.
I will use it to uncriminate you. If that's a word.
Hey, my trial's going to go great.
Yep, exactly. I'll be like, nah, he couldn't have punched that person. If he was going to do anything, he would have shot him.
Yeah, most definitely. I totally would have done it.
Yeah, fucking, but fuck, what else do we have on the agenda what we want to...
Well, we got a lights. Hang on a second.
Fucking,
we got a bit of,
Oh, Blade Runner 2049 is getting, like, really rave reviews right now.
Yep. And that has me excited.
Yes.
I think I've already gone on the record and said that I found Blade Runner to be a very serviceable movie in my eyes.
Which version did you see? Because there's multiple versions.
Yeah, I know there's multiple versions. I think I just saw the standard theatrical cut.
I
had to watch it for a film class. It was a film history class. It was the first time I ever saw the movie. I think it was just the theatrical cut. I think it was noted that there were multiple versions, but that was the version that I saw. No extra euphoric scenes where there's unicorn and none of that stuff. It's just...
Yeah. It's just, and it's... I mean, here's the thing about Blade Runner. Blade Runner is either a movie you really, really love, or you can't make it past the first, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I love it because it's a beautiful looking film. It's so goddamn gorgeous.
Yeah, it is a very colorful film, and based on the trailers and commercials that we've seen for this new one, they've carried that over quite handsomely.
Well, it's
better than Ghost in the Shell.
Well, I mean, yeah,
which is really in your fucking face with how, hey, check it out, we're futuristic.
Well, that's what I always liked about the Blade Runner movies is that it's in the future, but there's never a scene where they just completely shove it in your face.
Well, yeah, and that, I mean, yeah, it's a very grounded,
it's just, this is the world that the characters live in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really well done.
Right,
Unlike, yeah, and not to say Ghost in the Shell was a bad movie, but it was
a bad movie.
It was a schlocky movie.
It was a shitty adaptation of a great anime.
Well, the thing is, I watched the live action adaptation first. I was well aware of its existence and saw the trailers and everything, but I never got around to watching the original anime until after I watched the live action movie. And then I watched and this is the original is clearly better.
Oh yeah.
Not because of blatant whitewashing, but just because it knew how to tell a fucking story.
Well, it knew how to tell a story, and the actors were better in the anime.
Well, the thing that I like about is that it knows what it's trying to do, and that it has all the pieces properly in place.
Right.
The thing that rubbed me the wrong way about the live action adaptation is the way Major's character is.
Yeah.
They try way too hard to humanize her.
And yeah,
in the original anime, what I loved most about the fact is that she embraces that she's not a human.
Yeah.
She's a conscious in an artificial vessel, and embraces that there's nothing human about her. She embraces in every way that she is not like other people,
right.
and doesn't really. And
yeah, it's just fucking.
She understands who she is. And my problem, in the live action film where she doesn't, she's constantly conflicting with herself and others about who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be? You're pretty much, you are a glorified cyborg who has their place in the world. That is what you are.
Yeah.
That does what they do. That's it.
And I hate to say it, but Scarlett Johansson was not good in the live-action movie.
Yeah, if I'm being blunt, it's clearly of she really didn't know how to portray this character, and the material that she was provided did not help at all.
Right.
If I'm being nice, I could tell that she did put a bit of effort into this, maybe out of consideration for fans of the original material, but...
Well, I think she was just miscast. I think she was just miscast in the role.
Well, yeah, having watched the original anime, yes, heavily she was miscast. I felt this has nothing to do about the whole controversies of whitewashing. This is clearly just the fact that they got the wrong person to portray this character.
Oh, dude, fucking, do you want to know what the fucking score on Rotten Tomatoes is for fucking Inhumans?
Please tell me.
It's a 4%. It's got 28 reviews. One review is good.
Oh god. They're probably just being nice. Really nice, because there's just nothing interesting about this. It looks like complete shit. And I constantly say it, but I honestly feel bad for Anson Mount. He probably was oh hey, I can probably, really expose myself by being a part of a Marvel property, and then he got shafted.
Yeah.
Dude, you are awesome. You are awesome on Hell on Wheels. You are awesome in all the other movies that you've made appearances in. You were awesome as Sebastian Castellanos in The Evil Within, but you are gonna get shafted hard as Black Bolt in this show.
Yeah.
And I really hope that he can recover from this. I really do.
Can I read you some of the reviews from fucking...
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
Alright, let me pull this up. Inhumans is legitimately the worst Marvel adaptation in years. Yes, even beating out Iron Fist. In fact, as far as terrible Marvel adaptations go, you might have to go all the way back to Roger Corman's unreleased 1994 Fantastic Four film to best it.
Oh, now that is a burn. That is hard burn. Captain America technically wasn't released either. It was eventually aired on television.
There are many boring ways to portray a fantasy civilization, and Marvel's Inhumans has done them all.
Oh, dear God.
Do not spend any of your limited time on this planet watching this show. If you have a superpower, use it to race away from Inhumans faster than the speed of light.
Oh, dear God.
And while it's already cringeworthy, watching characters trying to converse with the mute wall that is Black Bolt, it's made even worse with the less than stellar CGI and clumsy dialogue.
Oh, boy.
With each passing minute, Inhumans feel slower, dumber, and emptier.
Well, I think we can all agree that the special effects on Medusa and Lockjaw are just fucking terrible.
I'm just memorized by these reviews because it's not that they're just bad; they're just hating it, and it's amazing. Perhaps, if nothing else, the disaster that is the pilot to ABC Marvel's Inhumans will dissuade network executives from the out-of-control trend of superhero shows. Inhumans is by far the worst thing I have ever seen.
That's quite a statement. That is quite a statement. I can't remember the last time I actually made a statement similar to such as this one.
Nothing works in terms of character or story, and the design elements that aren't complete disasters are fine, I guess. Lockjaw is fine. Inhumans is bad from top to bottom. Try as it might, the show does not live up to the Marvel brand. It is most definitely not worth seeing in IMAX, and don't recommend catching on TV either. Oh, let's see the one positive review. Sci-fi battles throughout morphs into superhero series. That's the one good review.
That's basically the equivalent of taking all the serviceable or salvageable elements of it and calling it a day.
All it says is sci-fi battles, comma, thoughtful metaphors in superhero series. It doesn't even say Inhumans, it just says sci-fi battles and thoughtful metaphors.
Again, taking all the salvageable things from it and just going, alright, calling it a day.
Fucking, and the highest review this show has from that review is a 3 out of 5.
Just, see.
Which is a 60%.
Well, again, I say, clearly somebody must have done something when it never got turned into a movie, so turning it into a show wasn't going to do it any favors.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's just not going to happen. I just feel so bad for...
The average rating for this show is a 3.59 out of 10.
Just, oh, crud. That's awful.
And fucking, this is the consensus. Marvel's Inhumans sets a new low standard for the MCU. With an unimaginative narrative, dull design work, weak characters, and just it's just bad. It's just bad. Holy.
We need to move on. I think I'm starting to get a migraine from this. From just, oh god, Inhumans, you're killing me.
You're killing me, Small. You're killing me, Lockjaw. You're killing me.
So terrible.
Oh, what else do we want to talk about? Because
I was going to mention in good news, Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions is apparently praising Todd McFarlane in his upcoming Spawn movie.
I want to talk about Blumhouse itself because I don't like their studio.
Well, all I have to say about this is, all right, cool. At least, it seems like the process.
Yeah, Spawn movie, whatever, fine. We're gonna get it, whatever. It's probably gonna suck.
Come on, have a little bit of faith. This is Spawn we're talking about.
Oh, the character who hasn't been relevant since the 90s?
Yeah, I know, but
and
Spawn...
who's Todd McFarlane has been sued so many times over Spawn issues because he doesn't understand copyright?
But Spawn is just so awesome, though.
Is he awesome? Because his character is just Wanda.
Hey, don't be so harsh. I grew up with Spawn as a kid. One of the few cool things my father showed me was Spawn, and I was like, this guy's so awesome. And then again, as a kid, I basically thought he's basically just a demonic version of the Punisher.
Well, he's basically Ghost Rider.
Yeah, basically just
Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider and Punisher dressed as Venom.
But he's badass.
Yeah, but I want to talk about Blumhouse because fuck them doing another Halloween movie.
I remember hearing about this a few days ago. Like, they're doing another Halloween movie, and the biggest piece of this is they somehow got Jamie Lee Curtis to come out of hiding to do this.
How many fucking zeros did they sign on that goddamn check?
It's pretty much all the blank checks that are making some movies these days.
Okay.
That's where the budgets are going for
here's
this
the thing.
Like,
Blumhouse, don't you dare make Halloween PG-13. Number 2, the movie's gonna be filled with goddamn jump scares. And that's not what fucking Halloween is. If you look at what I call the Halloween trilogy, you got Halloween, Halloween 2, and then for me it goes right to H2O.
Okay.
3 is fine because it's a standalone Halloween anthology film. They shouldn't have called it Halloween 3. But Halloween 4 sucked, Halloween 5 sucked, Halloween 6 sucked.
And let's also not forget Rob Zombie's remakes.
Fuck those movies.
I saw a bit of the first one, didn't like it, and then I only now recently understood what the second movie was even about. When I originally watched it, I had no clue what was going on here. Like, I absolutely zero understood the movie until I read the entire plot summary on Wikipedia. Like, it is so confusing. I don't even know how it's a movie.
Well, because for me, it goes Halloween.
There is so much unexplained spiritual crap going on in that movie. It's almost spectacular how weird that is.
Well, and then he goes and fucking makes Michael Myers an abused child, and his family life sucked.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't like about it either. It's like, you're trying to humanize a killer.
Well, and because here was the scary thing about Michael Myers. He was just a killer.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of these iconic horror, icons is the thing that's terrifying about them is that they are who they are.
Yeah.
There's really no explanation behind that. Michael Myers is a killer. Jason Voorhees is a killer. Freddy Krueger is a killer.
Yep.
There is no way you can humanize any of these characters to make us understand them more, because there's no point. Leatherface is also a killer. I don't know what their upcoming prequel movie is going to try to do with the character, but hopefully it's not humanizing him.
That's what it's going to fucking be.
Well, based on the trailer and based on some synopsis information that's come out, I'm hoping that it's basically just their attempt at giving us the fully adapted backstory of this character.
Would fucking was the last Chainsaw movie Chainsaw 3D?
I think it was.
That movie was a piece of shit.
I did not see it.
There's one scene. There's one little thing that I thought was genuinely funny. It was stupid, but it was funny. There's a moment where fucking Leatherface is at a carnival, and this clown comes out, and he has a little chainsaw, and he goes, rah, 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 rah. And then Leatherface looks at him, lifts up his chainsaw, and goes, rum, 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 rum. And then the clown runs away. I thought that was funny. It was stupid, but it was funny.
I have to agree, that's kind of funny.
And it was, okay. Also in Chainsaw 3D, they don't understand how time works.
Okay.
Because, they show the original movie, and then fucking, apparently there were other people in the house, and there was a baby upstairs, which that wasn't in the fucking original, but whatever. And fucking the main girl has a burned birthmark on her to show that she's a Sawyer.
Okay.
And then fucking we cut to like 17 years later, and it's modern day, but the original film took place in the 70s?
Yeah, that's confusing. Then again, I don't know much about the franchise. I only watched, I think it was the one from 2005 with Jessica Biel. That's the only movie in the series in the franchise that I watched, and I didn't care to watch the other
because
ones.
Texas Chainsaw 3D came out in 2013. Okay. So, apparently, that movie was saying that the film took place in the 90s?
That's dumb.
And fucking, it was like... And there's this amazing part. Like, the main girl, after all of her friends are dead, and fucking the cops want to kill her, because, like, they find out she's a Sawyer, because fucking, like, she has the birthmark, but, like, it's upside down, and, like, halfway on there, or whatever, and fucking, which doesn't make any sense, because she was branded as a baby, that birthmark would have grown with her, but whatever, and fucking, and they want to, like, cops want to kill her because she's a Sawyer. And what she does after she gets out of the fucking house, first thing she does, she calls the realtor and bitches at him. Like, you knew this guy was in the basement! I'm like, that's a thing for a different thing. But then Leatherface, when he's about to kill her, sees the birthmark and is like, oh, you're family. And,
oh, God.
And then fucking, like... And then he, like, becomes Batman and saves her from the cops. And the movie ends with her taking Leatherface home. So I'm like, is she just gonna take care of him now? I would give this... Dumb. I was like, oh my god, this movie is shit.
But at least it had a happy ending.
Well, fucking,
Unlike Halloween 2, where it's just fucking confusing.
Yeah. Fucking, I would have given the movie so much props if they would have started fucking at the end. I would have been like, this is the greatest movie ever made.
Oh, man, that would have been fantastic.
That would have been amazing.
At least one of those horror icons finally managed to get laid.
What?
That's probably all they want is just a woman's touch.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean...
Excluding Freddy Krueger, we all know what he wanted.
But also, I'm... You know, to me, have you ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2?
No.
Okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This is all I'm going to say about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The poster is a parody of The Breakfast Club.
Oh, God.
It's amazing. And then fucking the fourth one's amazing because it's got Dennis Hopper and Matthew McConaughey in it.
Yeah, I knew a young Matthew McConaughey was in one of them.
And then fucking Dennis Hopper's like dual-wielding chainsaws. And I'm like, oh no. Because the first one's scary. The first one's actually a really good movie.
Well, yeah. The first to a lot of these franchises are scary.
And then fucking... And here's the thing about the new Leatherface movie. Danny Rand's in it. Finn Jones is going to be in the new Leatherface movie.
He is?
Yes.
Poor bastard.
I kind of want Leatherface to kill him.
And then I think he knows that's what people want.
Yeah, it's just fucking...
We wanna somehow get a little bit of payback for the shit show that was Iron Fist.
Fucking just...
But we'll just have to wait and see if it happens. And then Charlie Cox can show up out of nowhere playing another blind character that just happens to save him.
A teenage Leatherface escapes from a mental hospital with 3 other inmates, kidnapping a young nurse and takes her on a road trip from hell while being pursued by a lawman out for revenge.
Yeah, I got that when I watched the trailer for it, and that kind of sounded interesting.
Who's playing the teenage Leatherface?
I do not know.
Is Finn Jones not in the trailer?
It's been a long time since I've seen that, like a while since I've seen the trailer, so I don't remember.
Is he playing Leatherface?
He's playing. Confirm it.
No, he's playing the sheriff. I have a picture of him playing the sheriff.
Okay, all right. So he's probably not going to get killed.
But I want him to get killed.
We'll have to wait and see.
Fucking, you know what the original title for Texas Chainsaw Massacre was?
What?
Head cheese.
Huh. Interesting.
Fucking.
My reaction is interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
We'll just have to wait and see what the future of these crapshoots are.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
Do we have anything else we want to talk? Because we're at an hour and 50 minutes.
All right. What do I got? Oh, yes. Tomb Raider.
Oh. Trailer looks fine.
First trailer for Tomb Raider dropped. I'm actually excited for this movie. I'm a diehard fan of the franchise.
I'm telling you, that scene of her being like, I'll take two, is going to be the last shot of the movie. It's going to be the last shot of the movie.
It is. One of the biggest, like, they're probably like, all right, so people want this to happen in the games, but it's, like, the current state, based on rumors, and some confirmation, we're probably going to get the announcement of the third game late this year, since it wasn't at E3. It hasn't been anywhere else, but we know it's in development. It's probably going to get announced at the end of this year. But just to finally give people the fan service they wanted since the first game, yep, we're going to get that scene where she gets the signature dual pistols.
And it's going to be the last shot of the movie.
You're right. That's probably going to be the last shot of the movie.
Because it's her at a store, or like at some place getting guns. And Nick Frost is in it.
Which was a pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna be the last shot of the movie. My favorite character in the trailer is the guy who's like, death is not an adventure.
I think that's gonna be this movie's version of Jonah, who we talked about this prior, but his character's supposed to be Hawaiian in the games and the comics, but he's apparently now Asian. I found that kind of a weird change, but not one I'm gonna lose sleep over. It's fine. It's fine. I also like that Dominic West is going to be playing Lara Croft, Richard Croft. He's a good actor, so it's nice to see him in this movie. It's gonna be cool. I think I'm officially sold on Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. I was initially skeptical when she was cast as the character, but after seeing some pictures of her in costume and then seeing the trailer, I kind of thought, you know what? She's got it. Yeah. She is Lara Croft. Even though I'm going to go to the theater and I'm still going to think, you know what? They could have just saved a lot of effort if they just got Camilla Luddington to play her. Like, she pretty much already is the face of Lara Croft. Are you saying that
Angelina Jolie was not a great Lara Croft?
Those movies are some of the greatest schlock ever made for movies and video game movies especially. And I will always have, and those movies will hold a special place in my heart as a fan of Tomb Raider. But I've grown to love Camille Luddington as Lara Croft. Now, I'm not a fan of Grey's Anatomy. I will never watch the show, even though she's a main character on the show, to my knowledge. But no,
considering they're on like season 13.
I don't care. But to me, she is Lara Croft. I love this woman as this character. She is phenomenal. She is just so great. No offense to Keely Hawes, just still voicing Elsie in the Lara Croft spin-off series. Still doing great work as the Lara Croft that we know from the 90s and onward. But Luddington is bringing something new and fresh to this character for a new generation of people. And I'm still kind of bummed that that me and many other people's dream casting, because it wasn't just fans that wanted it. She wanted it too. Like, there were fans getting together, like, you know what, you're making a movie, why don't you get the face of this character herself to be in the movie? But it unfortunately never happened, and now we have Alicia Vikander, but I'm sold on it. I think she's going to do awesome in the role. Again, I think the movie's going to be fine. It's going to be incredibly schlocky, and that's fine with me. That's what I expect from video game movies, and I like that it's unlike most other video game movies. It's actually taking a lot of consideration from the source material. It's basically just a mashup of the first two games, or basically mushed into one narrative, which is fine with me. I think it's going to work.
You know,
I think longtime fans like myself and the general audience can enjoy it. So when it goes to theaters in March 16th of next year, 2 days before the 2 days prior to the anniversary. Oh wait, was it? Hang on. I'm a
You're a Dart fan and you don't even know.
And I can't even remember. No, hang on. God. Oh wait, I am so dumb. Yeah, March 16th, which is 11 days after the anniversary of the 2013 video game. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be awesome. Gonna see some It's just one step closer to being in my my perfect world of video game, where all the video game movies from my favorite stuff get made. Last is Splinter Cell.
Well, I hope the movie's good.
Again, I'm not setting the bar incredibly high. It's a video game movie, and Hollywood still doesn't know how to make those 100% right. So
what? How amazing would it be if the Tomb Raider movie comes out and it's so good that the Academy gives it the award for Best Picture?
In a perfect world, that might just happen. But if it gets some kind of nominations, that'll be awesome. But my bar is
hell. I mean, Suicide Squad won fucking Best Makeup.
So yeah, it's possible. But my bar is a serviceable movie that pays respect to fans watching the movie, and is still, watchable for fans and general audiences alike. Yeah. That is my expectation. If you can do that, then I'm going to enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, that's pretty much everything I'd say about Tomb Raider for right now until more stuff is revealed and whatnot. So, and then we got our first official trailer for The Punisher. I'm gonna keep my pants from getting completely soaked right now talking about this.
Still don't have a release date.
We still don't have a release date, which sucks, but this trailer was enough of an appetizer to keep me satisfied as they sprinkle out more and more tidbits of information and teasers as we get closer to the inevitable release date. But yeah, the trailer's awesome.
How pissed would you be if fucking they were like, no, we're moving it to 2018?
Then somebody's getting punched. Not killed, punched. Really hard. Because
I don't know why they're not giving it a release date yet. That's the thing.
Well, I don't think it's just clever marketing. I think they're scared.
Yeah.
I think someone or some group of people that over there behind this are just scared that people are going to dump on this like we did Defenders and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And we need to get one thing clear here. The Punisher is a different type of character.
Dude, I had an argument in my class with the kid who I talk about all the time. He loved Defenders.
Yeah, we're not going to say too much about this because we don't want to get hit with slander. But there's a prick over at Fulsa with you that we both mutually despise.
Over at a school that I go to.
Full Sail, we can just say the school that we both mutually despise, who's just the fucking worst.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Just the worst. But
and now you're telling me this person in particular liked Defenders.
no, he loved Defenders. He loved it more than Daredevil.
Oh God, no. Daredevil is still the best thing they got going on right now until The Punisher airs.
He said it was like the greatest show on earth.
Oh God. No. Now, we've dumped on it. We did an entire discussion about it.
We did, and I think that honestly, that's my favorite video we did because we were focused on one thing. Because just of our mutual hatred for that show.
We got justice was served.
Justice. We were the defenders of good quality shows.
Of good quality shows. Did anybody ever write anything in the comments about us being?
I think there was one. I think there might have been one. I'm not sure. I think we got a lot of hits on that. Just like a lot for our channel, considering we don't have a lot of.
We're doing pretty good.
Well, considering we don't have a lot of subscribers,
we do good for what we have.
We could do good. Yeah, fucking. We got 7 subscribers. We got 13 videos. Yeah, we got like 17 views on that. There was 1 thumbs up. Yeah, we got one. We got one guy. What's it to ya? Who is like a really awesome commenter. Yeah, so he's awesome.
We appreciate you.
Shout out.
All of you that give us the time of day.
Shout out to the subscribers. Because you guys are awesome.
Yes.
And let us know if you guys want us to do a video on something specifically. Because we'll do it. Just finding the time, because you live in Colorado, I'm in Florida, and it's just hard.
Yeah, now we have to worry about different time zones.
Yeah, now we got to worry about different time zones. So, because you decided to move to Colorado,
this was an opportunity for me to get essentially a fresh start. Don't give me shit for this.
Yeah.
Don't give me none of your sass.
I'll give you my sass and my ass.
Give Iron Fist all the sass.
Yeah, fuck. Hashtag Iron fuck.
Oh man, I swear I will give the Punisher even more points if they make a reference to the Defenders and he just talks shit about Iron Fist.
Fucking, I will creep in my pants if someone calls him Iron fuck.
Did we ever get to spread that hashtag as far as we wanted it to?
I don't think we did. I know I put it up, I know you put it up, but it just didn't trend.
We'll have to try again at some point.
We'll try again. Trailer for season 2. Trailer for season 2 of Iron Fist. Hashtag Iron fuck.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
We will make it happen. We will make it trend on Twitter. Fucking
the Punisher. I love the trailer. I've watched it a couple times now, and I can't stop being like all giddy, like, oh, this is so cool. It's the Punisher.
It's the Punisher.
The way he's supposed to be.
The way he's supposed
badass and not giving any shits.
Yeah, fucking.
And the fact that they used Metallica in the trailer just made it even that.
Oh, that was so fucking badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, like I said, when I'm fucking done with school, you and me going to Atlanta and like starting our fucking careers and fucking you and me going to cons and fucking doing shit and us being able to.
No, it's still a guaranteed promise that we will meet Charlie Cox and John Bernthal.
Yes. As
respective characters.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
That would be a dream. It's not only a dream of mine to meet the Punisher in the flesh, but to show that I am a die-hard, dedicated fan of the greatest anti-hero in comic books.
Like I said, we're gonna go to a con. You're gonna be Punisher, and I'll be Matt Murdock.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. It is a goal of mine to perfect the many different looks Frank Castle has had throughout his many runs, and come up with some original takes on his outfits.
Mm-hmm.
I love the character that much.
Fucking yeah, dude.
From his kick-ass modern day trench coat look to his badass armor, tactical armor from the early days of the 80s.
Fuck yeah. But do we have anything else to say? Because we're probably about just done and just probably going on a tangent here because we're at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
2 hours. Wow, we really keep pushing the envelope for longer.
Well, because I think we just kind of have gotten more comfortable with the format where we're just like, fuck it, say what I.
We are getting more relaxed in the format, and also getting sidetracked and digging around.
Well, yeah.
But that's like half the fun.
That's the nature of the podcast. Just kind of like, fuck it.
Yeah, that is the nature of the podcast. I mean, granted, if we ever, do like an actual podcast for the channel, not the one where we talk, current topics.
Right.
Which we will eventually do. We just need more people to do it with.
Well, we need more people and just like I said, just fucking... Because right now it's just fun. We just do this for fun. Because, yeah, it's cool we got 7 subscribers, but we're not the people who's just like, oh, I'm not going to do it unless I get this many. Fuck those.
No. No, we do what we do because it's fun, and because it's what we want to do.
Exactly. Because it's fucking...
It's not like we follow strict schedules where we have to record every single week and release a short film every other week.
Exactly. Well, short films are harder to do for us because it's like, I'm over here, you're over there, and the shooting schedule, and blah, blah, blah.
Don't get me wrong, I would love to be making short films all the time, but there's just other things that gotta happen.
Other things gotta happen and shit, so...
Plus all the crap that we're working on. Well, it's not crap, but all the stuff that we are working on.
Right. We got that project going on that we're doing,
That would be really tempting to talk about, but we can't say anything.
Can't say anything on that.
It's going to be awesome, but we can't say anything right now.
Exactly.
Well, I do got one more thing.
Okay, what's up?
Since we love to dump on television... Len Wiseman is developing an Underworld television series.
Oh, fuck. That, honestly, that is the most, I would be so excited for that if this was like 2007.
Okay. I kind of have to agree. I'm a diehard fan of the Underworld movies. I have yet to watch Rise of the Lycans because I don't care about the backstory. I care about what's presently going on in the series.
Well, because Underworld started in 2003.
Yeah. And Kate Beckinsale isn't getting any younger, even though she surprisingly isn't aging.
And was Evolution the second one?
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They are really good movies. They are great schlock fests. I love them because they're like really great dumb action movies. So, like Kate Beckinsale as Celine is one of the greatest action heroines out there. She's a total badass in that unbelievably skin tight catsuit that she wears in every movie. Like, I don't understand how I will never understand how she can move around like that in a fucking catsuit.
Well, because it was...
And a trench coat.
Because it was Underworld Evolution,
the Lycans.
No, Rise of the Lycans, Underworld Awakening,
and then Blood Wars.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't care about the backstory. I only like... Celine is the reason I watch these movies. She is a badass character. Mm-hmm. I don't care about any of the other ones. I don't even care about Michael, even though it's kind of cool that he's a badass character in his own right. But it's the Celine show over here. It's about watching this badass vampire.
What I like about what I can respect about the Underworld franchise is that it was somebody who created it. It wasn't based on anything. It was just, hey, this guy had an idea. And, whether or not you like the movies, you gotta give it respect that it was just like, hey, let me just create something that obviously is inspired by other stuff. But,
They were pretty successful at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the only, critically successful one was the first one, and people were like, it's alright.
Yeah.
But...
Underworld is still my favorite. Evolution is still my favorite one in the entire franchise. I thought Awakening was above... Okay.
I mean, I'd rather see more Underworld than fucking Resident Evil. Well, I'm saying Resident Evil in terms of the movies.
In terms of Paul W.S. Anderson's movies.
Yes.
If you watch the animated ones, you might be surprised by how good they are.
Well, but I'm just saying Paul W.S. Anderson, he made one good movie. And it's not even a good movie. The first Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Len Wiseman's movie, like, saga, if you want to call it that, basically sweeps his franchise under the table.
Yeah. But fucking compared to them, I prefer Underworld to Resident Evil.
Yeah, if we're looking for, like, genuinely better movies, and this is coming from a diehard Resident Evil fan who's very biased towards the series. And I admit that on as technically better movies, Underworld is the winner.
Yeah.
Resident Evil is just pure schlock made by a filmmaker who's making these for fun and doesn't want them to be taken seriously, but should probably acknowledge that they aren't good movies.
Well, fucking, like, he's made one good movie, and it's not even a good movie. He made the first Mortal Kombat movie, which is just cheesy fun.
Yeah, it is. And then it also...
Have you ever seen the Siskel and Ebert... Have you ever seen the Siskel and Ebert review of the first Mortal Kombat movie?
No.
They were like, what? You know, it's a video game.
As iconic as Roger Ebert is, I kind of refuse to look at his work considering he's the guy that said video games can never be art.
Yeah.
And since he unfortunately is deceased now, we will never get to see him eat his words.
Yeah.
If somebody was able to sit down with him and make him play through something like one of the truly more artistic games out there with great narratives, like The Last of Us.
What about what's that Steam game where you're the little kid with the big head and you're trapped in the forest?
Big head in the forest.
You're a little kid. It was on Steam. It was an independent game.
Don't Starve?
No, it was black and white. Fuck. I forgot the name of it, but that was a good game.
Yeah, I don't know that one. But yeah, if we were able to get him to sit down and play one of these really artistic, some of these games with really great narratives and well portrayed characters, he probably would have changed his tune. But he's unfortunately gone now.
Well, and also he was a movie reviewer, and they didn't really make good video game movies, to be honest.
Well, it's like I keep saying, there's never going to be a good video game movie.
I mean,
no one is ever going to be able to figure out how to make a good video game movie. It's
what
just
are you
not
talking about? The Super Mario Brothers movie is amazing.
Come on, man. Come on. But, again, that might be subject to change given some of these other video game movies that are being made by people that actually know the friggin' material.
Although, you gotta admit, Bob Hoskins was a great Mario. He was a great cast for Mario.
Yeah, sure. John Leguizamo as Luigi, maybe not so much.
And then fucking just making Toad like a punk rock star.
Yeah, it's weird.
We should do a commentary for that movie.
It's kind of funny. Leguizamo and Keanu Reeves are roughly around the same age, yet Reeves has aged more gracefully than Leguizamo.
Leguizamo's just been in more shit.
He has. And it's definitely taking a toll on him.
Fucking, although he was really good as Clown in the Spawn movie, though. He was actually fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the better parts that I liked of that movie. I mean, Michael J. White was pretty good as Al Simmons, as Spawn. But
yeah,
there were those times when Leguizamo stole the show as the Clown.
Yeah, fucking.
They should have made him Pennywise.
Well, originally, you know who they wanted to play Pennywise?
Who?
Tilda Swinton.
What? They wanted... That would have been really different. Tilda Swinton going from very laid-back sinister characters to playing a full-blown, crazy sinister character? That would have been something else.
That would have been interesting.
Well, I would not have been against a gender swap.
Well, apparently they wanted to keep him the same gender.
All right, sure, I would have been game.
Well, because here's the thing, I mean, we're at how long? We're at 2 hours and 15 minutes, pretty much.
Are we Are we breaking our record?
I don't know if we're gonna break the record, but fuck it, Fuck it. We got 7 subscribers. They want to fucking watch it. They'll fucking watch it. They'll open their fucking subscription box and be like, Jesus Christ, what these assholes do now? And I'm getting more drunk because I'm drinking Sailor Jerry's and Coke.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get as drunk as we did in that podcast that we didn't publish, because I was shit-faced in that one.
There's gonna come a day. Put it on the Patreon.
I'll put it on the Patreon, if I can find it. But fucking, that was just, I was gone. I had like 4 Long Island iced teas, and I was gone. But fucking, now I'm just chill. I mean, I'm buzzed, I'm not drunk. But okay.
He's not gone yet.
Okay, but fucking, the thing with Penny, he doesn't have a gender, he doesn't have
I know that, but I mean,
have
from
a
the
form.
conventional sense, it is a male.
Yeah, I mean, it's identified as a male for simplicity.
I mean, based on what you've told me and a little bit more research into the character, it's just an entity.
Yeah, it's
just otherworldly force.
It's the thing that exists with the turtle that created the Macroverse because it was choking on something and spit it out, and
basically
then
just shot out the universe.
It threw up the universe.
Tomato.
Tomato. And fucking, and also that Pennywise didn't die in the novel, he actually lived.
Oh god, oh dear.
Well, no, because, like, there's other books that take place after it, where Pennywise is referenced.
Okay.
In the book, Dreamcatcher, one of the characters taken over by the alien goes to Derry, and they want to, like, go to the main, like, water line and, like, put their spores in there and, like, infect everyone in the town. But, there's a memorial down there, that the Losers Club put, and on the wall, written in blood, it says Pennywise lives. And there's another book, I forget what it is, but, there's a character who's driving through Derry, and he references the fact that he sees a clown in the sewer when he's driving by with balloons. And he just puts it up to the idea that he's just really tired. But yeah, Pennywise, in some form or another, survived the Losers Club.
Alright.
But
that makes sense.
I honestly don't know if they're gonna... Would you want them to do a Stephen King universe? Like a cinematic Stephen King universe? Because supposedly...
He's got some great work out there, and that would be interesting to see.
Supposedly Idris Elba was supposed to make a cameo in it.
I just kind of feel, given the mixed reaction and overall failure of the Dark Tower...
It wasn't a mixed reaction. It was shit.
I was being polite.
Fuck polite. If I ever meet that screenwriter and that director, I'm gonna write them a strongly worded letter.
Alright, I'll be blunt. The shit disaster that was the Dark Tower, I kind of think the idea of creating an a sort of movie-verse out of Stephen King's work is kind of fucked.
Yeah. But fucking, now that you've read more of the Dark Tower book, how do you feel about the movie now?
Again, still, there's still a bit of my movie watching brain that's kind of like, you know what? I kind of like this. This is a bad kind of movie, but I'm definitely being a little bit more like, yeah, this did not pan out that well. This did not pan out as well as it could have. It should have been so much different. It should have been like an extended franchise of movies to really get all the narrative down.
Right. Well,
we should have. I also feel like that Roland should have been the main character.
Well, yeah.
That was one of my biggest concerns about the movie, about the Dark Tower movie, was Roland isn't in it enough. He's we get through a good chunk of the movie before he finally makes a proper appearance and then sticks around, where he should have been the main character. It should have been that iconic opening
as he
line.
Is in the book.
Yes, it should have been that iconic opening line of the book, from the book, translated to the screen, and then just be his journey, start to finish, and then Jake should have been the supporting character.
Right. Instead, they make Jake the main character.
Which, yeah. Again, now having more awareness towards the book, it really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Although, for some reason, I know Roland's white in the book, but I can't help but picture Idris
Elba? Because he's a good pick.
No,
like,
yeah,
he
he's
was
fucking
fine.
awesome as the character. Like, I think of the movie and I think, like, oh, he is so badass as the gunslinger. It is so cool. But yeah, as I'm going through the book, like, I'm just picturing him and picturing him as the character.
Yeah, he's just fucking...
I can't help it. It's just awesome. He's just so cool. He's just so awesome with what little he gets to do.
Right, well, I'm fucking just, it's, it's just, he was so...
I don't know if I'm going to be picturing Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black, but...
I mean, you've gotten to the Man in Black, right? In the book?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet. Getting there.
Yeah.
But...
As Randall Flagg, as he's known in particularly The Stand, he's so one of the best Stephen King characters of all time. Randall Flagg is
it's great. It's great stuff, and I hope in a perfect world, maybe somewhere down the line, at some point in the future, whether it be us or somebody else, the book can be realized as it was written.
Well, like I actually think what would have worked better had Netflix gotten the rights, each book be a TV series.
Yeah.
TV series, a season.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, that would have been great.
To do each book as a season, that would have been great.
Because, we've been kind of it has been proven that, like, with an episodic series that you can take, like, extensively large story arcs and condense them to singular seasons as a chunk of the journey.
Right. And you can do a loose adaptation of The Gunslinger because, I mean, I hate to say it, I love the series, but the Gunslinger book is the second book is really where things start to get great.
Well, to its credit, you gotta
get through the Gunslinger, because the Gunslinger is good. It's just, the series really kind of starts in the drawing of the three.
Yeah.
And then, to me, Wizard and Glass is the best thing King ever wrote, which is the fourth book.
I think before things get too completely screwed, I think maybe it'd just be a matter of talking with the forces that be and maybe rethink the plan a little bit.
Well, and then also, speaking of this, we can actually talk about this. I don't know if we talked about that. How do you feel about the TV show? The Wizard and Glass TV show that we're supposedly getting?
I think...
That's a prequel series.
I'm a little bit skeptical, and I think it's really gonna weigh on taking the lessons learned from the movie and hopefully putting some effort into doing better with this.
Well, because like
because again, my movie watching brain can still salvage some pieces from it that I found quite enjoyable, but as a growing fan of the books, there's a lot of work to be done to fix this, to make it something that fans and an audience can mutually enjoy.
Yeah, but that, it's that thing of, like, why call the TV show Wizard and Glass when that's the title of the fourth book, but the show's a prequel?
Yeah, that was also another thing, like, when that information came to my attention, like, wait a second. It's essentially picking up after the movie.
Wait, it's picking up
prequel under the pretense of the events of that's confusing.
Yeah.
That is really confusing.
Yeah, it's
just if you have no friggin' clue what's going on here, you just got lost.
Right, it's just,
and that's what a general audience is going to get from this.
Right.
And that's going to be the challenging part is how do you you just confused your audience with this.
Yeah.
So some effort really needs to be put into learning from the movie and doing better with this.
Exactly.
Personally, if we were in charge, if this was our thing...
Well, I told you what I wanted to do with the opening scene.
Oh, yeah, I know. I never forgot.
Yeah, just fucking, have Steve, have the shot. It's a faraway shot. Man in Black in the distance is walking across the desert, or, Man in Black fled across the desert. Sorry, Dark Tower fans, don't persecute me. Don't string me up by my ballsack. But, and then what I would do is I would have the line read, and I would have it read by Stephen King.
Which is really quite a cool part to this.
And then, have it, the first part, the Man in Black fled across the desert, read by Stephen King, pause, you pause it, and then you have Roland walk from behind the camera into the front, and then he says, and the gunslinger followed. Boom. Cut to the title, The Dark Tower Saga, The Gunslinger, and then start the movie.
Yeah, again, if we... In an alternate reality, or in the future, perfect world, whatever you want to call it, where we were given complete control, that's what we would do.
Right. I can't believe they didn't even do that in the movie, really. They didn't even reference that.
Yeah. Again, it was a missed opportunity. It's just...
Because that's the most... Even if you haven't read the books, you know that line. You know what I mean?
And that's what, and I feel that would have been the perfect opportunity to make and break the film. Like that would have been your indicator that they were taking this seriously.
Right.
That was all you need to be sold that this is actually going to be good.
Yeah. Or at least pay homage, or at least it's done by people who understand the material.
Yes.
But fucking, there were some good parts to the Dark Tower. The part I really loved in the Dark Tower was when Roland's in the hospital and the doctor comes in and is like, lists off the diseases he has. I thought that was funny.
No,
it's like, you should be dead.
Yeah, again, there's some cute parts. There especially when the kind of before the final battle where Roland teaches Jake the gunslinger's creed.
Yes.
I thought that was also quite a nice little moment.
Mm-hmm. And just fucking
like there's just a lot of pieces in the film that I thought that again
you take them on their own and they're great. Yeah,
my movie watching brain thoroughly enjoyed the gist of what I saw and found it quite a bit entertaining and serviceable. Whereas developing fan over here, there's some pickings here and there that I found good, but the rest of the film is just it's not what it could have been.
And then I feel bad for Idris Elba, too, because he was like, they asked him, like, why he took this role, and he was like, well, I wanted to do a character that hadn't been done yet, and I kind of wanted to have a character that was a little bit mine.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never going to get to do that again, and he was good in the role, it's just that, the movie...
It's just, the material he was given was...
subpar.
Yeah. This was his opportunity to, after being shafted by Marvel, after... kind of being here and there in different franchises, this was going to be his thing.
This was going to be his franchise. They don't even make him the main character in the movie.
Yeah, like, as much as we would love to see him be the next James Bond, that's up in the air. That's out of
Well, he said he doesn't want to be James Bond. He said he said he doesn't want to do it.
It'd be cool, but...
It'd be cool.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Which is kind of sad, but we have to respect his decision. But, yeah. Like you said, this was going to be his franchise.
Yeah, he wanted to do, something that hadn't been done. It wasn't a reboot. It wasn't a remake. Where he wasn't where he was gonna get compared to somebody else. He was like, I want this to be mine. And he was he was a good choice for Roland.
Yeah, like he is the image I see in my head when I think of the gunslinger.
Well, and then people are like, oh, Roland's white. He's not black. He looks like Clint Eastwood. Who fucking cares? At the end of the day, I hate to say that as a Dark Tower fan. I can understand.
I think the explanation could be like giving him some credit. It was done really well. That it's fair to change the image.
Yeah,
I think it's fine.
Right.
This kind of stuff happens every now and again.
Well, and
look, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. We got a female Doctor Who, and I'm fine with it.
It happens. There's nothing wrong with it if it's done, if it's executed well.
I haven't seen past the first season of Capaldi, but I want to see more. I like him in the role. I need to catch up because Doctor Who is expensive. That's the thing.
But again, these things happen, and when they're executed right, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of change.
Yeah.
And again, having been so impressed by what Idris Elba managed to do in this character with what little he was provided, was enough to give me a definitive image of the character he embodied. And
boom.
So as I continue to read through these books, that's the image I'm going to see in my head, plus the addition of a kick-ass cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it, but it's a nice little touch.
I like the cowboy hat. I like the cowboy hat. Here's the thing.
There is nothing. Why wouldn't he have the hat?
There is nothing cooler in American culture than a cowboy.
Yeah.
Because it's the perfect... Here's the thing about the cowboy. It represents what Americans want to be.
You're not wrong.
Indiana Jones is kind of a cowboy. You know...
John McClane is kind of a cowboy.
John McClane. Well, that's why he's called John McClane, is because it's close to John Wayne.
Yep.
You know, we as Americans love the idea of the cowboy. You know, and it's just that thing of, you know, we love the cowboy in America. That's why Indiana Jones is so popular. That's why Han Solo is so popular. Because we like the idea of kind of the fact that we can have a character who's kind of black and kind of white, and he uses a gun, and that's why Indiana Jones is so popular. What's the most famous scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I take it the one where he's in the bazaar.
No, it's the scene where
right. I'm being stupid. It's the opening scene.
No. The guy in black, and he comes up with the sword, and he starts swinging around, do all the cool moves. And
that's the one I was saying. When he's in, that was my first one, where he's in the bazaar.
Yep.
And it's the perfect opportunity to go into a kick-ass action sequence. He takes out his gun and just shoots him.
Exactly. And that's why Indy is so popular. He fights so American. And that's why people love Indy. But yeah. And, you know, because they actually planned out a whole action scene. There was going to be an action scene. And then Harrison Ford got food poisoning, and he said, "Can I just shoot him?"
He got dysentery.
Or yeah, he got dysentery or something. He's like, "Can I just shoot him?" And they tried it, and it worked, and everybody loved it. Because it was so American.
It really was.
You know, it was so nonchalant, too. That's the cool part about that scene. He doesn't react to it. Because everyone else reacts to it. He's just like, fuck this guy. Boom, puts it back, turns around. And then everyone's like, oh yeah!
Just gets the hell out of there.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Indy 5?
Harrison Ford's too old for this shit.
I know. He's too old for it. The last one sucked.
If it's not going to be like a shitload of doubles, then they're clearly going to delegate him to a supporting character, and they're just not going to tell us.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, no, Harrison Ford's still Indiana Jones. Yeah, he's still Indiana Jones, but he's not the main character.
Yeah.
This is going to be their passing of the torch to somebody else.
When is this scene... When is this movie coming out?
I'm going to say sometime before the end of 2020.
Comes out in 2020.
Son of a bitch.
So it's about 2 years from coming out, which means they probably have to start filming soon.
Yeah, because Harrison Ford isn't getting any younger. I can't even imagine how much stuff he even does in Blade Runner 2049.
I don't think he's in the movie that much. I think he comes in the third act. I will bet money that he comes in the third act.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this is that is that for a sequel, it's doing its own thing and not relying heavily on the roots. I like that based on what we see in the trailers, this is the Ryan Gosling show, and Deckard is only a supporting character.
Right.
That's what I like.
And I'm wondering if they're going to do the whole thing of whether or not he's a replicant.
Well, seeing that we have conflicting statements from Ridley Scott himself and Harrison Ford,
yeah, well,
this movie is going to be the answer to that question. I think if there weren't so many versions of Blade Runner, we would probably have a straight answer.
Well, Harrison Ford doesn't like the idea that Deckard is a replicant, but Ridley Scott wants him to be a... Ridley Scott says he's a replicant. Harrison Ford doesn't want him to be a replicant.
Yeah, well...
And,
well, again, that's why I say conflicting, because they have their own testimonies, but every now and again they'll go back on them and like flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
like
32 minutes ago we broke our record for the longest podcast, so just thought I'd let you know.
We're breaking ground. But yeah, I think the issue is it's just that again we just have all these back and forth statements from both of these people that don't seem to be a straight answer, and I think it has to do with the many versions of the movie that caused that. So
I don't know what is this sequel going to be a sequel to? Is it to the theatrical cut? Is it to the director's cut, or is it to the final cut?
Yeah, I think that's also one of the biggest questions is what is it doing?
Yep.
But
it's getting good reviews, which surprised me.
Yeah, so skeptics, step aside. This is actually going to be a good movie. There's nothing to worry about. I'm going to
be interested to see what how the movie handles everything.
I'm pretty, again, as a very kind of loose
fan,
satisfied member of watching the original film. I'm confident that this actually be pretty good. I think Ryan Gosling is perfect in the main role. He looks to be doing something a little bit different than what we usually see him do, which is cool. It's always great to see Harrison Ford as he, again, not getting any younger. He's aging to the day, and he's getting what little mileage he can, which is all right. I'm interested to see what Jared Leto does in this film.
Yeah, I'm interested. Do you think he's going to come back and play the Joker?
I think it's anybody's guess. He doesn't know. Warner Brothers isn't going to tell us. To some extent, I honestly think he will come back. It's just a matter of when. I think we are so paranoid and so misled with this solo, isolated Joker movie that we honestly don't know what's going to happen next. Well, I think he's going to be part of the DCEU, and that's got people confused. And because of the solo, isolated Joker movie, we're confused as to, wait, is he still going to be part of this? I think in theory, it's kind of like the Batman stuff.
Well, I don't, to me, I don't want to get the Joker too overexposed. That's why I like that his appearances in media have been very contained. Right. Out of all existing live-action Batman movies, he's appeared in very few of them. Batman 89, and The Dark Knight. Yeah. You could technically also include the 60s Batman movie, but I don't. Well, if we're going to include the 60s movie, we got to count Mask of the Phantasm, because that was a theatrical release. Yeah, that did have a theatrical release, so we can knock that up to 3 or 4. Right. Which surprisingly, Mask of the Phantasm is still the best Batman movie, to my opinion. I have a soft spot for Under the Red Hood. And The Dark Knight Returns. I'm saying movies that were theatrical released. Yeah, I know, but I mean, I have a soft spot for those, particularly. Yeah. The Dark Knight Returns a bit more. You want to know something interesting? What? Batman and Robin is the only live-action Batman movie where Batman doesn't kill somebody. Oh, yeah! This is totally true. I just like to point that out. Because, I mean, every other Batman movie, he kills somebody.
Yeah. All manslaughter.
Or is completely fine with killing.
All manslaughter up until Dawn of Justice.
Well, Dawn of Justice was just like Dark Knight Returns Batman in like a full fucking throttle.
Well, yeah, they basically took Dark Knight Returns Batman to an extra degree where he not only stopped giving a rat's ass, but also just stopped giving a rat's ass.
Yeah, he did not give a fuck. Fucking just...
Well, again, I like the excellent theory where that states that he unintentionally became the villain that he is always out to stop.
Right. And I like that idea. They just don't explore that enough in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad that somebody thought of a theory for it. Versus, like, so we at least have that.
Right. You know, but fucking, and then we get to the Martha.
Again, the theory also makes that a little bit less stupid.
Right. The theory that, you know, I mean, it's just, but here's the thing. I'm still looking forward to Justice League. Like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's going to be good.
I mean, I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yep.
Gal Gadot has earned my confidence in Wonder Woman's presence in this world of superhero movies.
She's Miller is perfectly cast as the Flash for me.
Yes, you definitely also earned my confidence at showing me that video earlier.
Ray Fisher, Ray Fisher is kind of up in the air as Cyborg, but Jason Momoa is going to be a badass Aquaman.
In a kind of funny sense, I kind of do buy Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and then Ray Fisher as Cyborg. I'm not entirely sure. It also doesn't help that he practically looks like a Terminator.
Oh my god, he does. Holy shit!
We're used to Cyborg looking like a bulky man machine combo, but in this he really looks like a Terminator.
Bum 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 bum.
Like, he is, like, when I saw like more close up pictures of him, like, he is incredibly slender and like more humanoid looking.
And we brought it back. And we brought it back first full circle to our beginning of the story.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You're welcome. It's just so weird.
Well,
like,
you
just overanalyze screenshots of him and of the character, and you're like, holy crap, he totally looks like a Terminator, and it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
It is very weird.
Not that it's gonna mean like he's gonna be terrible. It's just weird how much he looks like one.
Right?
It's like, again, like we're so used to seeing him be like a bulky machine, but he is like incredibly human proportioned in this, and it's, I don't know. Like, I maybe I just need to see a little bit more to be like fully on deck with this.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But so far, I mean,
but apparently we might get a new Justice League trailer on Monday.
Yes, I did see the headlines for that. Which show us some more Commissioner Gordon, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's probably not in the movie for very long, but at least show us a little bit more of what J.K. Simmons is bringing to the table.
Gordon's so buff now.
No, yeah, I was shocked when I initially heard that J.K. Simmons was cast to play Jim Gordon in Justice League. Like, wow. Talk about turning the tables on Marvel, getting all these actors from Marvel movies to appear in the DCEU. And then I saw the first, some first pictures of J.K. Simmons preparing for the role. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, he was pretty average to slender in Whiplash, and now he's fucking beefed up for this.
It's like, holy shit, man.
And it's even more, like, at his age and all of that being genuine working
I feel like I have accomplished nothing in my life when I see those pictures.
Yeah, I'm like, he did that all on his own. All on his own time. In a matter of what I probably imagine to be like a handful of months. And he's just, damn.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't be surprised if that trench coat could barely hold it, can barely disguise that.
I would be surprised if Jim Gordon didn't rip off his shirt and start fighting the parademons with the Justice League.
be awesome. He'd be like Mike Haggard for the Final Fight series.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking...
But no, like that would be an amazing scene if J.K. Simmons Gordon just rips off his shirt and starts beating the shit out of a parademon.
No, he's just like, yeah, what he does is he rips his shirt off, picks up a gun off screen, and just starts mowing parademons down.
Yes!
And then
just
he
goes
runs out of
full on commando. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. But that'd be too good to be true.
Oh,
man.
Holy
Regardless of, wet dream action sequences, he's going to be awesome in the movie, just like everybody else.
fucking. How much do you think Superman's going to be in the movie?
I probably think mid to post second act.
I buy that.
I think we get the wheel. I think we get the wheels going. We get the inciting incidents. We get Bruce and Diana trying to get the team together, and then they think they're ready to face the odds, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we're not ready for this." And then here comes Superman.
Ba ba da 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 ba ba.
Oh, they played the original theme too as he showed up.
Yeah, dude.
No, wait. Danny Elfman even said that he's going to do a darker take on the theme.
He's going to do the theme in Justice League.
So yeah, that's probably what it's going to happen. It's like they think like, all right, I thought we were ready for this, ready to kick some ass, save the world, and then oh crap, we're not ready.
Yep.
We could use some more help.
I don't
Superman.
I don't recognize this world. We don't have to recognize it. We just have to save it.
Just rocking full Return of Superman attire.
Yep.
Long hair and everything.
And I wonder if he's still going to have the mustache.
I imagine they probably found a way. I was actually talking about that earlier with someone, just like how stupid that was. Well, like, it's just a friggin' mustache.
Yeah.
Like, if it really meant that much to you, you would have just made a fake one.
Just like, yep. Fucking just...
Like, you have...
Here's the thing, Henry Cavill looks so much cooler with a beard.
Yeah, he's probably gonna have a beard. I mean, he had one in Man of Steel.
I loved his beard in Man of Steel.
Henry Cavill looks pretty good, rugged.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna have a mullet like he did in the comic? Do you think he's gonna rock a mullet?
Like, they're heavily teasing that we're gonna get that they're gonna shoehorn in a little bit of the Return of Superman. So I want that black outfit with the long hair and everything. I want it all.
I want the mullet so bad. I want the mullet.
Mullets don't get enough attention anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We need some characters in movies and television to bring it back.
We need to bring back the mullet, man. Like,
don't let the Metal Gear Solid movie be the movie to bring back mullets.
Fucking business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah, again, like, don't let that be the movie to bring back the mullet. Let Justice League be one of the movies to bring some style and culture back.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I'd be down for Superman with a mullet and a beard.
Heck, if I actually could grow lengthy, straight hair, I'd probably rock a mullet at one point in my life.
Fuck yeah, mullets are the shit. Mullets are the shit. And by shit, I mean they're terrible, but they're amazing.
Heck, way back in the day when G4 was still a channel, was still a network, X-Play for a couple of years before the network was dismantled.
You know what I miss? I miss Attack of the Show.
I also miss Attack of the Show. That was basically your CNN news for nerds.
It was awesome. And Olivia Munn was actually really funny on that show.
Well, I've always admired Olivia Munn. She's a very funny lady. She just doesn't get enough opportunities to be funny.
We should totally write a script for Olivia Munn.
Like, yeah, the last time I saw her be funny in anything was Office Christmas Party.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else she's done has been serious.
Well, and what I like about her is that she's a full-fledged geek.
Yeah. It's like, it's not like she's just an attractive part-time model taking advantage of, suckers, then convince... No, she's a full-blown geek. And if you watched Attack of the Show back in the day, you would know that.
Back in the day, man. I miss Attack of the Show, The Soup, fucking...
X-Play was what I like to watch.
X-Play was another good one.
They just had a bunch of cool stuff. And then they got brought out and canceled.
Which sucks.
I mean, where else are you going to watch your Cops reruns?
Fuck yeah. Dude, that would... I wonder if we're ever going to get to that point where, like, we become sellouts?
That's never going to happen. We're not prideful, but we have principles.
Yeah. Because what I want... I don't know what you... Because what I want for this channel, I want us to be the 1970s national... I want us to be the 1970s National Lampoon of geek culture.
There aren't many people doing that these days.
Because, because fuck it, you and I just speak our mind and fucking, whatever.
We do. Not enough people do.
Yeah.
Especially in the geek culture. We got it. It's time to make a change.
Geek culture's been hijacked by these stupid motherfuckers who aren't actually geeks. To kind of... Because here's the thing. I used to love Screen Junkies, but now they've kind of gone off the rails a little bit for me. I mean, I still like their channel, and I'll watch a video every now and then. But fucking... There was an episode of Nick Mundy. Do you ever watch Screen Junkies?
I am one of those suckers that just watches the honest trailers. That's it.
Okay. So, there was an episode when they were talking about how to, fix Transformers with the Nick Mundy guy. And he was, talking about Skids and Mudflap and how they were characters from the show. And I'm not a big Transformers guy, but even I knew they were made up for the movie. They were not in the original show. And what pissed me off about it was he was like, well, these characters were in the show. No, they weren't. It's a hijacking of geek culture, man.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Because you and I...
Those characters were literally just racist stereotypes that were thrown in because they did well with test audiences.
Right, but they were made up for the movie.
At this point, there's a crap load of characters that were made explicitly for the movies.
Right, but my point is, you and I, if we don't know something, we admit we don't know something about the material.
Yeah. I don't like talking out of my ass. That shows arrogance, and I don't like to do that.
Yeah, fuck that, I mean, it's just fucking... I've read the Dark Tower books, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm better than you because I read the Dark Tower books. Fuck that. Fuck that bullshit.
Yeah, and I admit, I like the Dark Tower, but I'm only now just reading the books.
Yeah, fuck it,
You turned me. You opened my mind to something new that I've been on the fence about for years, but I'm now getting into.
Exactly, and it's just fucking... What I fucking hate is this hijacking of geek culture, where you got the fucking people who fucking didn't give a shit, but now it's fucking popular, and they pretend they were geeks the whole time, and they don't fucking know shit.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating, and I know it sounds petty, but that's kind of how I feel about it, where it's like, no, you didn't... you're just doing it because it's popular. No,
yeah, you're totally right. And it's unfair to people that genuinely like this stuff.
I mean, how many times have I told you on this podcast, where I'm not a gamer, so I don't have a lot to say about games.
Right? You're honest about it.
I mean, I've played a couple video games here and there, but I'm not I don't know the culture, so when you give video game stuff, I don't want to say something because I'm just kind of well, I don't want to come off as an idiot, but also I'm not part of that culture, so I don't feel I have a right to say shit. It's like the people... Yeah. It's like when Gamergate happened. You had all these people who didn't understand they were looking at something out of context.
Yeah.
And it was just that's why I never said anything about Gamergate. I'm I don't understand. Like, I'm not a part of that culture. I'm not a big gamer, so I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I kept my mouth shut because it was very tricky waters. It was just a clusterfuck of things that just shouldn't have happened, or at least that for the most part should have been turned into a spectacle.
Dude, we're like fucking 5 minutes away from going into 3 hours.
Shit, we're on a roll.
We're on a fucking roll. No one's gonna watch this video because it's gonna be too goddamn long.
Take it back. Rooster Teeth do not butcher us. I'm a big fan. I love your stuff. Don't kill us for this.
Well, fucking, I love the original Red versus Blue, but then it became too weird for me.
Well, I'm a diehard Red versus Blue fan. Been way back in the day when I was just a kid, watching the old days of Blood Gulch. But I haven't watched the recent seasons. I kind of stepped away after 14, which really wasn't a season. Like, I don't know why the hell they even called it season 14 if it was basically just an anthology.
Yeah. I do love the guy who plays the head of the quadrant. I think he's hilarious. Chief, right? Where he's like, No, like the guy. There was an early episode. Is it Switch?
You mean Sarge?
Sarge. Yeah, that's it. I love Sarge. He's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny how. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny how like some of the main people from Rooster Teeth portray some of these characters. Like some people are just doing some of them are just doing a casual voice, and then some of them really get into character.
Apparently, Sarge has to. I heard a rumor that Sarge actually has to get. The guy who does Sarge has to get drunk to do the voice.
I really wouldn't expect that from Matt. Like, you always seem kind of like a straightforward person. I
love the episode. I love the one thing they do when like Sarge goes on like vacation or something, or he goes off somewhere. And when he comes back, and like the guys are like, "Oh, we're engaging the enemy," and all this stuff, and Sarge just simply goes, "Am I talking to the right base?"
Yeah, it always kind of interests me how some of the actors behind these characters like get into character to do these voices. It's really It's actually rather amazing how like for their production company how they just get like everyday people to do all of this cool stuff.
Right.
It's the kind of level of success that we would love to achieve one day because they just do what they do.
The one guy I mentioned who I don't like in my class wants to voice for Rooster Teeth.
Good fucking luck.
Good fucking luck. That's what I said. They already have the people they fucking work with, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, I still remember back in the day when they were just a small little production company working out of a moderately sized office in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. And
now they own an expansively large set of warehouses where they do all of their stuff.
Exactly.
And it's like, will we ever get that big? Probably not.
No.
But maybe close.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm fine with just you and me, because like I said, this podcast has really just kind of, especially now, just kind of evolved in you and me just talking about shit.
Well, there's still the short film business.
Well, there's a short film, and, I've sent you stuff that I've written here and there, and it's just, like I said,
I would still, my
well,
vision
when I come to visit you for Thanksgiving, we gotta shoot at least one.
Yes, we do. That's why we need to start calling production companies. I need to start calling production companies here in Colorado to start arranging crap.
Exactly. Fucking just, just be able to
all the collaborations, selling both of us as a duo to do awesome stuff.
We're the new Coen brothers. That's what it is. We're the Coen brothers of geek culture. Fuck it.
Sure.
And I'm drinking Sailor Jerry's, and I'm getting a little bit drunk, but I'm not, like, as bad as I was with the Long Islands. Dude, I listened to that, and I got, like, 5 minutes in, and I'm like, there's no way I can fucking post this.
Post this in serious confidence.
Yeah,
maybe on the Patreon where we put all the additional stuff.
Right, fucking... But yeah, we got it. that's the next thing we got to do. We got to do a comment. What did I say our next commentary should be? Flatliners, or was it something
So
else?
you wanted to do Flatliners.
Flatliners would be one to do.
Which I probably went on YouTube.
Die Hard is another one we got to do.
Because if you love action movies, then you love Die Hard.
And you love Die
I
Hard.
fucking Die Hard.
And also, if anyone's made it this far into the podcast, fucking tell us what you want us to fucking do a commentary on. We'll fucking do it.
Hell, give us your suggestions for anything in general. You want us to do, like... You want us to do a short film?
Yeah.
Want us to, like... We are strong believers in open-mindedness and collaboration.
Exactly.
You want to work with us to do something? Then...
Oh, dude, we're fucking like 10 seconds away from crossing into 3 hours.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, talk to us. Join our inner circle and be part of the slowly expanding ring of minds doing crazy stuff.
Exactly. Well, what I like, what I think is awesome about it, like, we're not trying to impress anybody. We're just here, But
I honestly don't brag about this.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't either, and, fucking shit.
I mean, we probably need to tell more people that this is what we're doing, but...
Right, yeah, exactly. But we have crossed into 3 hours.
Yes! Breaking records that nobody cares about.
Breaking records!
Ah, shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah! Doing it.
We're doing fucking awesome shit is what we're doing.
Yeah, we are. We just have to keep up the effort and do more awesome stuff.
Fuck yeah. When I come to visit you in fucking November, we're gonna fucking shoot a goddamn short film when I'm up there.
Yes. We just need to make a little bit of face so we can really get some awesome people part of the stuff that we're doing.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Maybe like within like the next year we would actually be able to have enough merit to contact.
Well, when you move to fucking Atlanta, we're probably just gonna shoot shit whenever we feel like it.
Most likely. That's most definitely what's probably gonna happen.
And then just fucking.
But if we can sell some of the stuff that we are currently doing.
Yep.
Hopefully that earns enough face that we can work with some grounded names.
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure Olivia Munn wouldn't be above working with two squares.
The script we're currently working on, might get us a little bit of recognition.
We still have that one name whom I love so very, very much and respect immensely.
Yeah, although he's not taking my calls currently.
Well, we're gonna have to do something about that. Because this name is currently going to be part of a movie that's going to be coming out in the following year, and we have something to pitch. He pitched them.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. It needs to get made before they go into full production with the main event.
Yeah. Fucking. Do we have anything else we want to fucking talk about for the podcast? Because like I said, we're at 3 hours and 2 minutes.
It is the weekend.
Nothing
really seems to go on during the weekend.
We can't afford the rights to that song, so I'm just gonna make fun of it.
Men in Black is getting a spin-off.
Oh, what? Why? What? I mean, what?
Who cares?
And that's my response.
First their 21 Jump Street crossover falls through the bricks.
Did that fall through the bricks officially? Are they not doing that anymore?
I don't think it's been officially confirmed, but at this point it might as well be.
Okay.
And so, I guess doing a spin-off, who cares?
What is a spin-off
I never even watched Men in Black.
What is a spin-off of Men in Black? Like, if it's just Men in Black, then it's new characters in the same kind of story.
That's what they should do.
But what's a spin-off?
I honestly don't know. I just think it's a horrible idea.
Fucking Will Smith. Will Smith has moved on to being Deadshot. I mean, granted, he's not Deadshot from the comics, but, you know, he's Deadshot now. And fucking Tommy Lee Jones is being angry Tommy Lee Jones in a movie somewhere. And fucking,
old Tommy Lee Jones.
I feel like Tommy Lee Jones came out of the womb as an old man. Like, can you imagine, what is a young Tommy Lee Jones?
There's a movie out there, I can't remember the name of it, where he was a bit young.
But I'm saying he's always kind of been an old man.
He always has been. This is true. And he understands that quite well.
Yeah.
Just watch No Country for Old Men.
Which is a good movie until the ending happens.
Well, again, he doesn't really do anything in that movie but sit around and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
That is the full extent of
his
character.
Well, that's the thing with Coen Brothers movies. They're great until the ending.
Yeah.
If you notice that, they're great until the ending.
I guess they don't understand the concept of a satisfying conclusion.
Well, fucking No Country for Old Men. He should have left the shit there.
What sucks about that movie is the fact that Harvey R. Bardem gets away with it all.
Well, that and fucking
there's
no silencer. There's no silencer for a shotgun.
No, what people need to understand is, again, a silencer is a concept of fiction.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a silencer.
The suppressor,
yeah,
which does three things: reduces the sound of the gunshot, reduces the sound of the firing mechanism, and reduces the size of the muzzle flash.
Yeah,
but it does not eradicate all three.
Yeah,
you can a real life suppressor. If you were to fire a gun outdoors, would still be heard. It would again reduce the noise significantly, but would still be heard a fair distance away.
Well, I mean, a gunshot is just loud. There's nothing you can do about it.
Again, maybe 30, 40 years in the future, maybe we might crack it and make it a real thing. But as right now, suppressor is all you got. Silencer does not exist.
Right.
Yeah. So the fact that Harvey R. Bardem was able to shoot up an entire motel with a silenced shotgun is just one of the most
stupid things I have ever seen.
It's a graphic scene, but I couldn't help but chuckle a little bit by how ridiculous it was.
It's just fucking...
But it doesn't help that it's a sour conclusion that he gets away with.
I think the Coen Brothers are their best when they're doing a comedy.
Yeah. Who doesn't love The Big Lebowski?
Idiots. Idiots don't love The Big Lebowski. You would have to be
quite the sinner to not like that movie.
Yeah.
Because it is funny.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
It's like John Goodman wasn't even that old, wasn't even like too old during the time, like around the time of that movie. Yet he's one of the angriest people ever in that movie.
What the fuck was all that shit about Vietnam, Walter? Like, what the fuck?
And I love it, the fact that, and I also really just love it that, like, Jeff Bridges puts in, like, 45% effort into the character.
Right.
Still plays him remarkably well. Like, he's just laid back the entire movie.
He gives no fucks.
And it's just absolutely a riot.
I'm the dude. Dude?
Yeah, again, like, it is, it's like, who would have thought a character, I mean, he literally just played that character with minimal effort and did it spectacularly.
It was amazing. Did you ever get in the Jesus movie?
Oh, God.
A Jesus spin-off movie? Nobody messes with the Jesus. Fucking love that movie.
Maybe we'll get an answer to what happened to the dude's rug.
What did happen to the dude's rug?
What happened to it? They not only pissed on it, but they took it.
Why would you take a rug you pissed on?
I have no idea.
Like, that just seems kind of
probably the same reason. Probably the same type of thinking on why you would keep a ferret after you dropped it in a bathtub with a naked man.
Yeah. Oh man.
Who would have estimated that, again, a character that was played with minimal effort, done spectacularly, entirely with their own wardrobe, and literally just winged every scene, would serve as the foundation for an entire religion.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love the dude. The dude's awesome.
No, he is awesome. He is what a lot of people should aspire to become, because they don't give a shit.
Yeah, fucking. I mean, even Sam Elliott's narration is kind of just lazy, because you watch the beginning of that movie, it's just, the narration kind of doesn't make any sense, because he starts over, like, twice in the narration. Sometimes there's a dude, and the dude.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he's the dude's conscience,
right?
And is somehow even affected by his attitude.
It's just like
it's also kind of surprising how Sam Elliott's still alive.
I know, right?
He's old as dirt.
He's the one guy who's awesome that has survived old age.
Yeah,
because you look at it, most people who are like old are assholes.
Yeah.
Like, look at the fucking Senate and Congress. Those motherfuckers are ancient. They're from the 50s. And these motherfuckers are still alive. But yet we lost Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., fucking, Joaquin Phoenix, fucking all these people who were awesome and, like, all that shit. They died young. Fucking Jim Morrison.
Oh, hold on a second. You mean River Phoenix. Joaquin's still alive.
Yeah, that's what I said. River Phoenix, right?
You said Joaquin.
Oh, River Phoenix is what I meant. But I'm just saying, like, fucking, Jim Morrison, man. Fucking one of the best fucking singers ever.
It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame.
It's a damn fucking shame. And we lost... Dude, did you know... I want to bring this up. It's not relevant to anything, but fuck it, because we're doing the podcast, and we're like... Fucking...
We make the rules.
3 hours and 11 minutes in, but who gives a shit? Fucking... Did you know this last Thanksgiving was the 25th anniversary of Freddie Mercury's death, and nobody gave a shit?
What?
There were no posts on Facebook. There were no news articles saying 25 years later shit. This last Thanksgiving was the 25th anniversary and nobody gave a shit.
And here we are finally making a biopic about his life.
Yeah.
I guess a collective of people thought, like, oh shit, we kind of fucked up not making a deal out of this. Let's make up for it. Let's make a movie celebrating his life.
But here's the thing. You'll never be able to do a fucking 100% accurate movie on Freddie Mercury's life because... Have you read up on his life?
Not really.
Dude, there are stories about, like, he hired little people to walk around with plates of cocaine on their head at his parties.
Oh my god. Oh man, that's funny.
Or just like...
That's some like Wolf of Wall Street shit right there.
Dude, and fucking... Like, he gave interviews where people were like, he's like, I want everybody to get fucked every night, all night, like I get fucked all night, every night. Men,
He was like
women,
a more rowdy Robert Downey Jr. in his youthful days.
Yeah. Apparently, like, he had sex every single night as a rock star. Every single night.
Doesn't Ronda Rousey do the same thing, like, every, like, night before a fight?
No, but I'm saying, this is every night.
I don't mean that in slander, but I think I read that somewhere. There was, like, something to, like, stimulate the body. I could be wrong.
I don't know. But fucking...
I don't know why I brought it up.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, that would be... you couldn't do that as a movie, man. Like, just fucking little people walking around with cocaine.
Wolf got made into a movie. They took
Dude,
a controversial
Wolf
real life
of
story.
Wall Street is a PG movie compared to the legends of what Freddie Mercury did.
We'll just see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, that's some Wolf of Wall Street, Robert Downey Jr. in his young days shit right there.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, but fucking.
That would be fun. That would be interesting to see.
I mean, there's an interview I watch sometimes.
Heck, have you? I would know what to expect. I mean, I've seen some videos of like interviews way back in the day of like celebrities that were like intoxicated while they were doing interviews.
Well, yeah, the fucking Sex Pistols and shit like that. But Freddie,
what's a few? What's his name? James Brown.
James Brown was one.
I saw an interview where he was clearly on cocaine.
Yeah.
And was just, instead of giving a coherent interview, he was basically just singing singing his many different songs.
Yep.
He was clearly fucked to the 10th degree.
It was fucking, like, Freddie Mercury was just like, there's an interview where I watched where he was just like, you know, he was like, oh, when people stop buying my albums, I'll just become a stripper. And fucking the guy was like, what songs would you strip to? And he's like, the songs I've written. Duh.
There was like, I can't remember what the name of the actor was, but there was like there was an interview, like it was like from maybe like the 80s or 90s. I can't remember the name of the actor. I'm probably gonna have to find the video where I saw this from. And he apparently he's very different in real life, but giving this interview, he literally sounded like Heath Ledger's Joker.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but yeah.
And I saw, like, oh my god, like, you could, like, just put, like, a screenshot of Heath Ledger's Joker over the footage. Like, is that from The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
It's so spot on. Is this, like, a scene that they cut out?
Yeah, fucking, it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, I cannot remember what the name of the celebrity was, but it was so creepily similar. It was like, what the hell?
Right.
What the hell?
Well, fucking, it's just like, you know. It's just like, fucking.
And then there was another actor. He was on, like, set. It was on the set of one of his movies. I cannot remember what the name of his was, but he was also clearly under the influence of
Nick Nolte?
No, not Nick Nolte. It was clearly fucked it under the influence of cocaine, and was apparently doing sexual gestures while on camera.
Richard Pryor?
Yes, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. I miss Richard Pryor, man. You know, he basically wrote Blazing Saddles.
He did?
Yep. He was supposed to star in it, but he went on a cocaine binge and called Mel Brooks and was like, hey man, you need to wire me some money because I'm stuck in the city and I need to get back.
Well, I don't shame Mel Brooks for doing what he did.
Well, and then fucking, they were like, we can't fucking have Richard Pryor in the movie. He's obviously dealing with some shit, so.
Mm. But hey, still a cool classic.
Still a fucking great movie. Hey, where the white women at?
You are dearly missed, Gene Wilder.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fucking, so what do you like to do? I like to rape, kill, and rape. You said rape twice. I like rape. Fucking such a great movie.
Back when being so blue with your jokes was actually acceptable.
Dude, you could not make Blazing Saddles today.
No.
You couldn't make fucking, I don't think you could make Animal House today.
Oh my god, Animal House is so fucking hilarious.
Love Animal House. I love Animal House.
Featured so many great faces, including a young Donald Sutherland.
Exactly, and fucking John Belushi is the shit in that movie as Bluto.
Oh, he totally is the shit in that movie.
Was it over? Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? The Germans. Forget it, he's on a roll.
I know.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that movie's so fucking great.
What happened to National Lampoon, man? National Lampoon used to be the shit. Now all National Lampoon is TNA.
Yeah, unfortunately.
National Lampoon
Like,
used to be the fucking, like...
They tarnished his name bad.
What? Whose name?
National Lampoon.
Yeah, National Lampoon just got their name dragged through the fucking mud.
I think it all went downhill after Van Wilder.
Van Wilder was like the last movie that had the National Lampoon name on it, where I'm like, okay, I can see what you're going for here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking hilarious movie. Not counting the shitty direct-to-DVD prequel that they made. Like, it's a funny cult classic.
Oh, but fuck that prequel, and fuck... I like the main guy in the sequel. Like, I like Hal Penn, but that sequel is bullshit.
They shouldn't have made it. Like, I know they shouldn't have made it without Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
it took him fucking ages to get past the typecasting of that character, but when he did it,
oh my god, he was great. He was great.
He did it well.
He was fucking great, man. He was fucking great.
I mean, I've seen his other movies to appreciate the value of his ability. Who's seen Waiting? Who thought that was a great movie?
Waiting was great.
Waiting was fucking amazing.
Waiting was awesome. Fucking, we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes.
And the proposal was kind of campy.
The proposal was cute.
Yeah. It was cute.
I mean, it wasn't amazing, but fucking, here's the thing.
And then he earned some points making Buried, which I'm pretty sure nobody saw.
Yeah.
I did though. It was okay.
It was I liked Buried. Selfless was a cool idea that didn't do a lot.
Wait, wasn't that movie that he made like last year or something?
Selfless was the movie where it's fucking Ben Kingsley and then he
I never saw that. I didn't see that.
It's a good idea. It's just not executed like 100%.
And then he made like a movie, and then like wasn't it like the same year that he made another movie where it's like the same premise, but instead of Ben Kingsley's Kevin Cos?
The Change Up?
No, that was Jason Bateman.
Let me fucking.
And that was a comedy. It was like a thriller action movie with him and Kevin Costner.
Fucking. Let me fucking. I got his IMDb right here. Let's see. Don't
be singing those jingles yet. We are nowhere near December.
Before that, he did Woman in Gold, and then Mississippi Grind, The Captive. He was in A Million Ways to Die in the West. The Voices, which
for like a second.
What?
He was in A Million Ways to Die in the West for like a second.
Yeah, he was the best part of that movie.
Yeah. Like, I honestly don't understand, like, why he was even in the movie. Like, it wasn't even an elaborate gag. It's just like, oh, here's Ryan Reynolds on camera for like a second, then he gets shot. How was that a joke?
Well, apparently he was supposed to be Seth MacFarlane's good luck charm.
What does that even mean? Like, what is good? Because he knew the movie was going to be bad?
Well, no, like, he was supposed to be like his good luck charm.
Like, even in Ted, he doesn't do shit in that movie either.
Well, he doesn't even have a line of dialogue in Ted.
He doesn't even have a line of dialogue. He just gives a gay kiss to Patrick Warburton? Is that what his name is?
Warburton?
Warburton, thank you. That's like it.
Mm-hmm. Fucking, can you entertain the audience for a minute? I'm gonna take a piss.
Entertain the audience. The Venom movie's still happening. Michelle Williams joins the film. Wonder what she's gonna play in it. We don't know. Hopefully it's there's something interesting. You know, the movie turns out to be good. Hopefully it's good. You know, I think Venom's a great character.
Did you entertain the audience successfully while I took a piss?
I just mentioned the Venom movie. Really?
Apparently, there's another actress that's supposed to be in that.
Yeah, Michelle Williams.
Yep.
Is joining the film. Okay, just show me more. I guess that's pretty much my stance. It's like, show me more, and we'll see how I feel.
Show me more, man. Just show me more. Fucking.
And new photos for Runaways has been released.
I don't know. You think Runaways is gonna be good?
Thing is, I never read Runaways, so I don't know. I saw the trailer and I thought...
There's a trailer?
Oh, sorry, I got confused. I was thinking of Cloak and Dagger, my bad.
Because I was thinking, there's a trailer for Runaways? I didn't...
Yeah, no, there's not. I don't care. Again, I never read Runaways, so I honestly have no stake in this because I don't know what I'm getting into. Just like I don't know what I'm getting into with Cloak and Dagger. I know the characters, but I have no faith in this show. To my understanding, it doesn't help that they're teenagers.
Yeah.
To my recollection, they're well into adulthood when their story really begins. So making them kids doesn't help.
Okay. Hey, dude, we're at 3 hours and 26 minutes. We should probably wrap this up.
Okay. Well, we pretty much... I don't really know what else there's to say about this. We pretty much have been dumping on the gist of Marvel's shitty ideas for a while.
Right.
I don't know what else we could pile on by making fun of Runaways or Cloak and Dagger.
Okay. But...
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna...
something.
Let's wrap this up, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed because I'm a little buzzed, so...
I am wired because I have to take the pills that allow me to pass out.
I will call you then, okay?
Cool beans.
Cool beans. All right. I have been Kyle.
And I have been James, as always.
And if you made it to the 3 hour, 27 minute thing, then you are awesome. And you have won a prize of being awesome. So, see you in the next video.
Could have just said more of our respect. Like that.
You have won James's respect. And James personally will send you a check for $100,000.
If this were a perfect world, which it's not, so that's not going to happen.
Alright, well, bye guys. See you in the next video.
Peace and all that jazz.